Hello and welcome to Ann Arbor, Michigan. You are listening to WCBN Sports live coverage of Michigan men's basketball. It's another big game in the Big Ten as the number 13 Maryland Terrapins, winners of 9 of their last 11, make their way into Chrysler Center to do battle with the Michigan Wolverines, who are looking to rebound from arguably their worst performance of the season here in this building against Illinois on Sunday. I'm Daniel Olson, and joining me today is Alex Miller. I can't tell you how good it is to be up here with you today, sir. And Alex, we'll start with Maryland, currently ranked 5th in the Big Ten. Obviously, the top 4 seeds in the Big Ten Conference do get that double bye in the Big Ten tournament. So massive game for them. Obviously, massive game for Michigan to try and kind of correct some of the mistakes from Illinois. But as you prepped, kind of watching this Maryland team, what stands out to you? What do you like about them? And what might cause Michigan some issues here this evening?
I've been watching this Maryland team play all year, and I've been a big believer in the squad Kevin Willer's got out there in his 3rd season. I mean, the MO with this team is they rely heavily on their starting 5, and those guys have just been that good all year long. Jacoby Gillespie, Rodney Rice, Selton Miguel on the 2 bigs, Derik Queen, and Julian Reese. That 5 is going to have to carry them. All 5 average double digits. And look, I mean, when you look at this matchup, a big piece is 2 bigs for Michigan in the starting lineup, 2 for Maryland, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out here.
It certainly will be. You mentioned the battle of the bigs, so to speak. Julian Reese and the standout freshman from Maryland, Derik Queen. He's set all sorts of scoring records, averaging nearly 16 points per game this season, 9 rebounds to go along with that. 5-star recruit, so very talented there. But then, of course, Michigan, known for the Area 51. Vlad, Goldin, Danny Wolf. It's been some rough games for Danny Wolf as of late. What do you expect out of him tonight? And how do you think that battle? How do you think Michigan's going to treat that battle down low?
This is an interesting test for Danny Wolf. He's been a little bit on the struggle bus the last couple of games, as you said. I'm kind of fascinated by this matchup because, to me, when you watch Michigan against Illinois, the lineups they struggled against were the small ball lineups Illinois put out there when they were 5 out with Ben Humrickhouse, the 5-man, Will Riley, the 4-man, Trey White at the 3. Michigan struggled to stay with those guys in space. They struggled to get boards with the smalls crashing the glass. This Maryland team, in a way, is a more traditional matchup for them. You've got 2 bigs for your 2 bigs to man up. Curious to see how Michigan does on the glass against a team that doesn't have their guards crash to the same degree that Illinois does. But when you look at Danny Wolf, he's got to step up. You'd like to see him create for others, and in particular for himself. Goldin has been fabulous over this stretch. He's really, in a way, he has been Michigan's best player in the last 5 games or so. But Danny Wolf has to step up here tonight.
We get set for tip-off here. Fans still filing into the Chrysler Arena, here in Ann Arbor. Spring break, so not as many students in attendance, but the locals trying to make their voices heard tonight. Big game for the Wolverines to try and bounce back. And, of course, still chasing that regular season Big Ten title. 1 game back currently of the Michigan State Spartans. Obviously, that massive game this weekend against Michigan State in the Breslin Center. Run through the starting lineups for you. For Maryland, Jacoby Gillespie is joined by Rodney Rice, Selton Miguel, Julian Reese, and Derik Queen. Michigan, the typical starting lineup. Goldin, Wolf, Burnett, Gale, and Trey Donaldson playing quarterback for the Wolverines. The point guard spot, it'll be Goldin and Reese to jump it up for us here in the center.
That Derik Queen, Danny Wolf matchup at the 4 is going to be fun. I love Queen's game, what he can do. Maryland wants to get him faced up and around the elbow. You'll see him catch there on a lot of spots. It's going to be fun to watch that matchup.
We are underway in Chrysler with Danny Wolf controlling the tip. He's got it at the top of the key, drops it off to Donaldson, and Michigan will get into their offense. Donaldson right wing, now Goldin top of the key, over to Barnett left wing. Maryland in a little 2-3 zone to start. Wolf regains control at the top of the key. Gillespie on him, now left wing, Roddy Gale. Swings it over Donaldson. Goldin catches it at the free throw line, pumps, now drives right hand, forces right-handed shot, is blocked by Julian Reese, something he does extremely well is block shots. Maryland comes the other way with Gillespie. They'll set up their offense, go to Reese on the right wing. Little dribble handoff at the top, that's Rodney Rice. One-on-one with Goldin, little in and out move half spin. Wolf stays in front. Kicks to the corner. Gillespie, corner 3 is long, and the rebound is controlled by Queen. Out Rice, his three-pointer is good, and Maryland goes up 3-0. Michigan pushing quickly the other way. Burnett tries a corner 3. That won't go. Ball is tapped around and now controlled by Rice for Maryland. Little screen and go. Rice pulls up from mid-range, long, and Burnett controls. He'll bring it down the other way. Wolf left wing now, calling for some spacing. Sends Gale away. Now Wolf drives. Right hand gets past Queen and lays it in with the right hand. Danny Wolf on the scoreboard early.
Pretty take by Wolf. Just got Queen on his hip, went right by him. Michigan's got to get a board here on defense.
Talked about the defensive rebounding struggles against Illinois on Sunday as ball enters Reese in the post, attacks Goldin, goes up, left hand shot front of the rim and taken away by Danny Wolf, who pushes now down the right wing, behind the back, moving into the center, kicks corner, Roddy Gale, three-pointer, hits nothing, and it's controlled by Julian Reese. Maryland the other way. It's been a struggle from Gale from the three-point line as of late. Guard play has not been what head coach Dusty May has been looking for. Maryland 3, Michigan 2, 7:50 and ticking here in the first half from Chrysler Arena. Big time showdown in the Big Ten. Plenty of implications for the tournament as Derik Queen, double spin move into the lane, was fouled. We'll see who the call is on, but a little bit of athleticism that you'll see from a big man like Queen.
Yeah, Queen loves that spin move, and that was a set I think Michigan would have expected to see in this game. Maryland loves to get Queen facing up top of the key. They got him off ball to get a switch on a smaller Roddy Gale Jr., went right at him, drew the contact, gets to shoot 2.
So the foul did go on Danny Wolf, his first, Michigan's first, as Queen knocks down the first. It's been an impressive season from the young man. It's got to see him courtside before the game. He was quite the specimen. Knocks down the second. Just so athletically gifted and has paid wonders for this Maryland team this year. Still in that zone as Donaldson brings it across the timeline. It's now fake handoff to Burnett. It's Wolf in the left corner looking for help. Drops it to Goldin at the elbow. Kicks out Donaldson now, left corner still. Working on Queen, drives right hand, gets into the lane, spins in the middle. Nice footwork, layup won't go. Goldin's tip won't go either, and it's controlled by Derik Queen. Maryland pushing the other way with Gillespie. Stops, pops, elbow jumper, short rebound. Donaldson up and down game here early. Burnett drives, throws it off of Queen's leg. Had Gale underneath the basket, couldn't get it to him, but it'll remain Michigan basketball.
All 5 of these Maryland starters can beat you, and Jacoby Gillespie's a great shooter off the dribble, but if he wants to pull up in transition on a long 2, Michigan will take that any day.
Michigan enters to Wolf at the free throw line, dribbles right, rejecting the Goldin screen. Now on the right block, he'll step back, right elbow jumpers up and long, and controlled by Gillespie and pushed the other way from Maryland. Surrounding Rice, left wing, across court to Selton Miguel. He works on Vlad going one-on-one, opts for the ISO 3 is long. Ball tapped around, Donaldson pushes the other way. The head of steam, kicks Goldin left wing. Now Donaldson back to Gale. To the free throw line. They've got Goldin one-on-one with Queen at the block. Now here comes the double from Rice, and Goldin has struggled with the double at times, loses it, regains control. Now Wolf left wing. One-on-one with Julian Reese, sizes him up, goes baseline, left hand, one-handed pass, Goldin relocated right into the middle, flips it up, flips it in, and Vlad Goldin's on the score sheet. Michigan 4, Maryland 5.
Great pass with his offhand there by Danny Wolf.
Top of the key, Julian Reese. Go back to Rice, he'll get Goldin on the switch in the right corner, drops it now to Reese with Burnett on him, spins baseline, nice hands by Namari Burnett. And the foul on Julian Reese. That's some excellent defense by Burnett to get the steal. As we head to the under 16 timeout, Maryland 5, Michigan 4. Slow start for both teams offensively. Do you think they feel like they're getting good shots? A little bit of excitement maybe. It is, as we talked about in some length here, it is an important game in the Big Ten standings, and a lot of shots kind of missing long here early.
Maryland's maybe gotten some looks they're not too unhappy with, but also if you're Michigan and Selton Miguel, when he gets Vlad Goldin on him, wants to take a sidestep three-pointer, he can certainly make that shot, but he's more of a catch-and-shoot guy. You'll live with that if you're Michigan. Same with Jacoby Gillespie, great shooter off the dribble, but if he wants to pull up for a long two in transition, that's not the best shot Maryland can get. Michigan will take that. But look, eventually shots are going to fall for these Maryland perimeter players. They are that good. All three of them, Rice, Miguel, and Gillespie especially, can really score the basketball. But they're sort of feeling each other out right now. It's early here. A couple good stops for Michigan, but Maryland may be settling a little bit so far.
And for Michigan offensively, it's been what we expected. A lot of Danny Wolf down low, a lot of Vlad Goldin down low, and that last bucket was an example of the connection we've seen all season. Wolf, some exquisite passes with both hands. Goldin relocating, getting into the middle lane, the little push shot there. But it hasn't quite been as prolific as it was early in the season. Have you noticed anything that's maybe changed on Michigan's side with that dynamic, or how teams are defending that Wolf-Goldin dynamic duo, specifically in the pick and roll?
I mean, I feel like Michigan hasn't gone to that 4-5 pick and roll with the same level of volume that they did early in the year. I think that, you know, early it had so much success, and I'm not sure if teams exactly have figured it out, but, you know, Wolf has been a little bit turnover prone. He hasn't been able to finish himself as well. The other thing we've seen is he's not really someone that's going to pull up off the dribble, off a pick and roll. Teams are going under a little bit. They're okay with Wolf shooting a three. He also hasn't hit free throws as well when he's gone downhill. I think a lot of that, you know, the onus in that side is for Danny Wolf to create. He's struggled a little bit more as of late than he did to begin this season.
Michigan certainly would love the best of Danny Wolf and Vlad Goldin as we head into March, into the stretch run. One of the greatest months of the year.
It is my favorite month of the year.
College basketball fan or not, frankly, I think it's quite a good month.
Weather gets warmer, daylight saving time returns, a lot of things to like in the month of March.
Certainly are. Both of these teams tournament locks. We'll have to see how the next few weeks play out. Obviously, Michigan at Michigan State on Sunday, a chance at the Big Ten regular season title there, and of course, huge implications for seeding in that Big Ten tournament. Michigan has locked up that double bye for the Big Ten tournament. So they won't play Wednesday, they won't play Thursday. They will play Friday, we just are unsure of who that is. And that will get itself sorted here in this next week.
And you can look at it and say that, you know, Michigan's locked up the double bye. There's not much to play for right now, but, you know, this is the kind of game where you have Maryland and Michigan State to end the season. You want to go into the Big Ten tournament with some semblance of momentum. Can't drop these two after just losing to Illinois by 20.
15:43 on the clock. Ball's entered into Wolf on the right wing. Couple subs. Reuben Jones in and Deshaun Smith-Harris in. Harris Smith in for Maryland. Wolf drives, stumbles. Ball falls to Burnett. Low block Goldin. Now his left hook is off the front of the rim, and Queen will bring it up for Maryland. Crossover to the left hand, gets to the free throw line, working on Wolf, spins right hand, now kicks out to Gillespie, who takes that Queen screen, moving left, now kicks corner. Smith drives, layup is short. Rebound cleared by Vlad Goldin. Donaldson pushes back to Wolf over on the right wing, gets a screen from Jones, rejects it. Now works in the post against Smith. Burnett the cutter inside. One extra pass is stolen away by Gillespie. Good read from the Maryland guard. Just under 15 minutes to go here in the first half. Maryland 5, Michigan 4. Gillespie gets a dribble handoff, working right. Tough shot, rims out. Goldin collects the board again. Strong start on the defensive glass for him as Donaldson pushes. Fakes the handoff to Wolf. Big hop step layup short. Smith clears for Maryland, and Gillespie pushes the other way. Maryland will reset now. Gillespie, they'll go to Queen in the left corner. He's got Wolf on him. He'll begin the back down. Working right, spins left. Cool. Layup's good. Tough shot there. But Derik Queen pushes the Maryland lead to 3. Wolf surveys top of the key. Working with his left hand. Loses the dribble out to left wing. He's got Goldin on the block. Can't get it to him. Donaldson now top of the key. Uses a Wolf screen going left. Little pick and pop. Wolf inside. Burnett, nice cut. Blocked. Julian Reese again covering ground. Swats Burnett off the glass, and Maryland controls. Reese, one of the leading shot blockers in the Big Ten, as Gillespie drives, uses the Reese screen, gets it to him. Little short elbow pop is short. Donaldson collects, pushes again for Michigan. Working one-on-one, top of the key. Now Reuben Jones, right wing, and Michigan will reset. Inside to Goldin, kind of at that left elbow. He spins left, baseline. Left hook is no good, rims out. Deshaun Harris-Smith controls, and Gillespie pushes the other way. 13-15 and counting here in the first half. Low-scoring defensive battle so far. Both teams struggling to take the lid off of the basket. It's Gillespie working up top, off the screens from Reese. Reuben Jones stays with him. Smith kicks to Queen. Here's Rice around the screen. Back to Queen on the roll. Attacks Goldin, who played good defense. Ball rolls off the rim. Donaldson collects, and Michigan pushes the other way. Reuben Jones inside after the spin move. Danny Wolf, the right-handed layup on the left side, but 4 early points for Danny Wolf.
Good push there by Reuben Jones. Derik Queen was behind the play. It was 5-on-4. Right read by Reuben Jones.
Maryland 7, Michigan 6. 12:30 to go in the first half. A little entry pass to Queen, top of the key. Now Reese. It's Rice. Right wing 3 is short. Controlled by Wolf. Michigan a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight. Wolf will step back. Three-pointer is good. Danny Wolf knocks down the 3, and he came to play tonight. 7 points for Danny Wolf, and Michigan takes their first lead of the game. Gillespie, left wing 3 is short. Goldin controls. Gets it to Donaldson, and Michigan looks to push again. Kicks, corner, Burnett, open 3. Oh, yeah! Namari Burnett knocks down the corner 3. And just like that, a little bit of offense in Ann Arbor as the crowd comes to their feet. It'll be the under 12 timeout. Michigan 12, Maryland 7. And a couple threes dropping now for the Wolverines, Alex, and give a little juice to this crowd, but also some juice to that Michigan offense that had been struggling the previous 6 or 7 minutes in this basketball game.
8-0 run for Michigan in under a minute. Kevin Willard had seen enough, took a timeout. But look, that was a strong couple of possessions there for Michigan, and Danny Wolf hit a pull-up 3 off a crossover. When he's knocking shots down like that, he's a different player than the guy who you feel has to get to the cup to produce. If he can knock down 3-pointers, that's a pretty big boon for Michigan. And you pull Derik Queen further away from the basket, opens things up a little bit for Michigan as a whole. And, you know, love to see Namari Burnett get on the board on an open corner 3. Couple nice possessions in transition for Michigan. Early in the season, that was their game. You'll want to push into transition. Dusty May still wants his team to do that. And a couple of good possessions there, open looks in transition, Michigan able to convert them.
It's an 8-0 Michigan run over the last 56 seconds. They've made their last 3 shots. Wolf layup, Wolf 3, Burnett 3. Maryland on the other end, 0 for their last 4, 1 of 11. 2 of 13 to start the game. It's a scoring drought of 225 for the Terrapins. And one thing that we didn't quite mention in the beginning is Maryland does not have that signature road win. They are 4-5 on the road this season, and some early signs here of some potential road struggles. They were able to grind out a win at Penn State this weekend. It was an impressive, kind of gritty, clutch performance by the Terrapins, but specifically on offense, doesn't seem like they're crashing the glass nearly at the rate that Illinois did, and Michigan's done a good job of controlling. But what do you see that Maryland can do? What is Kevin Willard telling his guys right now to loosen up the offense and get the points to start going on the board for the Terrapins?
I mean, for starters, they got to get back on defense. I think that's getting, Derik Queen might be getting a bit of a mouthful. There's one possession he couldn't convert and fell behind the play. But on offense, I feel like guys are settling a little bit. We've seen Gillespie take a couple of shots off the dribble, and that's really his game. But Selton Miguel took a pull-up 3. He's more of a catch-and-shoot guy. I think they can get better. Derik Queen's got to be aggressive. When he's had the ball in his hands, good things have happened. And, I mean, he can just do a lot as a passer, as a finisher. He can work, from 15 feet away. He can work from the block. He can do a lot of different things. I think if you're Kevin Willard, get the ball in your freshman's hands on the block and let him go to work.
Queen does have 4 early Maryland points. The other 3 coming from Rodney Rice, and a 3 ball for him.
And all 3 of those, Maryland starting perimeter players shoot the 3 very well. Gillespie at 42%, Rice at 36%, Miguel at nearly 43%. All those guys can knock it down, catch and shoot off the dribble. But if you're Michigan, you just got to stay on top of them. Don't fall asleep on anything. And if Maryland tries to push in transition, find those guys. Can't leave them alone. But so far, when you've got Gillespie pulling up off pick and roll, and that's the best offense Maryland can get to, I think you're living pretty good if you're the Wolverines.
Jay Young has entered the game for Maryland, along with Jordan Geronimo. Geronimo, a fifth-year player from Newark, New Jersey. Same lineup for Michigan. The starters, Gale out, Jones in. Rodney Rice swings it to the corner. That's Miguel, who comes off a screen from Reese. Pulls from the elbow, won't go. Burnett clears, finds Donaldson. Michigan controlling the defensive glass early. Danny Wolf, right wing. Inside Goldin, quick right hook is through. Efficient move there from Goldin. And Michigan goes up 14-7. Young brings it up for Maryland. Drops it over to Reese, top of the key. Now gets it back. Reese kind of elbow extended. Now here comes Rice off a screen. Top of the key, three is through. Rodney Rice can shoot it, and he shows you there. Cuts the lead to 4. Michigan the other way, and we've got a foul. Young got into the airspace of Donaldson. Michigan will make some substitution here. Kayson's in, Cheddar's in, Gale's in. It'll be Jones, Kayson, the freshman, who's gotten a lot more minutes as of late. Cheddar, Donaldson, and Roddy Gale. So a bit of a smaller lineup here. Maryland counters as well, with only Derik Queen and Jordan Geronimo in at the big spots. Michigan 14, Maryland 10. Passes entered into Kayson. Just under 11 minutes left here in the first half. Number 13, Maryland. Number 17, Michigan. Donaldson gets a ball screen from Cheddar. Can't go anywhere. Excellent switch by the Maryland defense. It's Gale, right wing, drives baseline. Kicks corner, Jones. One more. Donaldson, top of the key. Kayson, three, won't go. Cheddar, the hustle, as always, grabs the offensive rebound. And Gale tried to throw it cross court. Can't get it. Ball's batted around. And good hustle. And we've got a foul on Will Cheddar. Gale's cross-court pass was tipped, deflected, led to a scramble on the floor, and Maryland's first to it.
Yeah, Cheddar took out the leg there of Selton Miguel diving for the basketball. And, you know, Gale Jr. had the turnover there, bad decision on the skip, but he made a really good decision as he drove the baseline to kick it to the corner, which started the swing around the horn and led to the open look for Kayson.
Kayson is guarding Gillespie on top, and Gillespie gets the switch. Now Queen's got Kayson on him. Drives left hand, gets inside. The only line of defense there is Roddy Gale. That's too easy. Left-handed layup for Derik Queen cuts the lead down to 2.
I tell you, if Maryland can get Queen facing up top of the key in the mid-range with a guard on him off a switch, they'll take it every time. Queen can go to work in those sets one-on-one. He's a beast down there.
15 on the timer. It ends up Gale, right wing. Drives, kicks back to Donaldson. Now down to 10. Jab step up top. Gets a Cheddar screen rolling right. Finds Cheddar on the roll. Reuben Jones relocates. Corner three won't go. And we've got an offensive foul on Jacoby Gillespie as Roddy Gale was making a play at the ball on the offensive rebound. Ball will stay here.
Good hustle there for Roddy Gale Jr. He's got Geronimo on him, or he did last possession, who sagged off him heavily. If I'm Roddy Gale Jr., I don't care that I'm 0 for my last 17 for 3. I'm still taking that shot. Got to be confident. Believe in yourself. Believe in the stroke. If you're left alone, take it.
Jones, the trigger man. Good hands by Gillespie. Knocks it back out of bounds. We'll run this again, but you mentioned Gale, Reuben Jones, 2 veteran transfer guards have struggled from beyond the arc this year. It was one of the strengths of Reuben Jones coming out of North Texas, but hasn't quite translated. They get it into Wolf left wing. One-on-one with Derik Queen. Tries to back him in at the elbow. Gets around him. We got a little hook there on Danny Wolf, and that'll be his second. Important call here in the first half, and Dusty Meg quickly goes to the bench to get Vlad Goldin back in the ball game.
Yeah, Wolf definitely hooked his arm around as he tried to turn the corner around Derik Queen. I don't know if he needed to do that. He might have had a half step anyways. I don't love just the ISO back to the basket from the three-point line for Wolf on Queen. for Michigan.
It's Gillespie up top off a Queen screen, rolling right, jumps it down. Michigan crashing down low defensively. Well done, LJ Kaysen. We've got a jump ball. It was Geronimo and Kaysen on the rotation. Forced the tie up. Maryland ball with the possession arrow. Have it on the baseline. It's Gillespie, the trigger man. Gets it corner, Rodney Rice. Fadeaway three, rims out. Another Maryland guard collects the board and puts it in. It's Selton Miguel beat Roddy Gale on his box out. And fans saw all too much of that Sunday against Illinois.
Yeah,
let out
looked
some
familiar.
groans. This ball's now entered into Goldin on the other side. Gets doubled, loses his foot. That's an easy walk. Spin those fists, sir, and we're going the other way.
Yeah, Goldin tried to pick up his dribble off the double team. You know, Maryland far from the first team to double the post on Goldin. Nebraska lived in that scheme. Goldin's got to be ready to pick up his dribble, get a quick kick, get it out of his hands if he sees a double.
Maryland has answered with a 7-0 run of their own. Michigan 3 turnovers in the last 2.5 minutes. Have not scored since the under 12 timeout. That's a Derik Queen floater that's long. Jones lost it. Cheddar collects, and the Wolverines will push the other way. Jones at the top of the key. Looking for some help. Tries to go corner, and it's the 4th Michigan turnover. Miguel picks it off, drives on Kaysen. Euro step, right-hand lay is good. Maryland 16, Michigan 14. Beautiful move by Miguel in transition.
9-0 run for the Terrapins. They've done better on defense and on offense. Didn't love Derik Queen settling the previous possession, but good aggressive take by Miguel there.
Kaysen comes off the screen. It's a Roddy Gale fake on a 3. Drives inside, now flips it up. Little floater, front rim, back rim, no. Derik Queen gobbles up the rebound, flips to Gillespie. It comes across the timeline. Looking for some help. Quick cross. Jones stays in front. Now top of the key, Gillespie. Step back 3 is short. Didn't get the roll either. Roddy Gale pushes the other way for Michigan. Gets a Goldin screen working right. Stronger right hand. Now dumps it into Goldin. Collects left hand. Layup is short. Front rim. The tip is good. Ties it up at 16 with 7.5 left here in the first. Maryland looking to push again. Now they'll slow it down with Queen, top of the key. Long 2 is back iron. Roddy Gale grabs another rebound. He'll push now. Quick enter to Goldin. Spin. Left hand hook in the middle of the lane. Rims out. There's Geronimo with the rebound. Gets it off to Young. And the defense has returned for both squads here. Some up and down play, certainly not leading to high quality offensive looks, but Miguel left wing, Roddy Gale off him, sags off, Miguel pops a 3 and hits a 3. Lets the crowd know about it. Maryland regains a 3-point edge. It's Roddy Gale at the controls for the Wolverines. It's Goldin at the top of the key, wide open, he'll let it fly. Short. Cheddar there on the offensive glass. He was held. That'll be the second on Jay Young, and Will Cheddar doing what he does best, creating chaos on the offensive glass, earning Michigan another possession. Maryland 19, Michigan 16, 6:35 left in the first half. We're at the under 8 timeout, but as always on WCBN Sports, we're not going anywhere.
No, sir.
We are ad-free, unsponsored since the beginning, whenever the beginning was. But it's been a bit of a scrappy offensive game, and you know, I think this is something we kind of expected talking early. Maryland's losses have been by an average of 4 points.
Yeah.
If you followed Michigan at all this year, they like to win close games. Got a 3-point game here, low scoring. It's been kind of what you'd expect here. And it's come down to who's controlled the glass, but this last 4:30, Maryland's been in control of this basketball game with a 12-2 run.
Yeah, 12-2 run. It really could have been a bit more. Derik Queen settled for a couple of shots. Out of the pick and roll, he took about a 12-foot sort of floating, leaning shot. He can do better, take it all the way to the cup, and then he was just left alone and pulled a mid-range top of the key. He can hit a jumper. He's got good touch of the stripe. He's got good touch in general, but he can do a little bit better than that. You know, they got the three from Selton Miguel. Roddy Gale Jr. felt the screen coming to his left. Miguel jabbed toward it. Gale Jr. sort of stuttered back to try to fight around it, and Miguel knocked it down. But on the Michigan side, Vlad Goldin's had a couple looks in the post. If he can get deep post position before the catch, they won't double until he catches it. He can catch it low. That's a really good help for him. But, you know, for Michigan, they've just got to find a way. And guys have got to be willing. If you're Roddy Gale Jr., I said this before, but if you're left alone, and we saw Vlad Goldin left alone, take the shot. I don't care about the number. He's a 20% three-point shooter on the year now. He's hit 1 3 since the year turned to 2025. He's 0 for his last 17 now. It doesn't matter. He looks good in warm-ups. You got to be confident. You got to put that shot up, or else, you know, the spacing's bad when he's your three-man as a total non-shooter, and they can just sag off and help on dribble drive.
Yeah, Michigan, I mentioned it briefly, Michigan needs a better version of Roddy Gale Jr., a better version of Reuben Jones if they want to be contenders for not only the Big Ten tournament crown, but national championship crown. And I know that these are lofty expectations given what last year was, given it's the first year of Dusty May, but they've shown serious promise this year. But kind of cap off as we return here, Maryland 30% from the field, Michigan 31.8% from the field. Teams are combined 5 of 16 from downtown, so some solid defense. Both teams missing some shots as Justin Pippen enters the game, Burnett as well. It's Cheddar and Goldin along with Donaldson, and that's the 5. And they go to Goldin on the inbound, so we've got a foul on Julian Reese, bumping Trey Donaldson around inside. It'll be the 5th on the Terrapins, and the 2nd on Julian Reese, so he'll take a seat.
I love that baseline out of bounds play there. It went into Goldin, and then Trey Donaldson set him a screen at the free throw line to try to free him downhill. The 1 setting a screen for a 5. I like it from Dusty May.
Donaldson again, the trigger man. It's an entry pass that is swatted away by Gillespie. Not the greatest inbounds play there, but Michigan gets another chance at it. Maryland 19, Michigan 16, 6:29 left in this first half. Quick entry to Goldin. So Donaldson over on the right wing gets a Goldin screen. Now cuts back to the middle. Little floater from just short of the free throw line. Tapped around. And Derik Queen controls for Maryland. Pushed. Selton Miguel draws the foul. It'll be on the floor. Got into the chest of Justin Pippen, I believe. Drew the contact. That'll be the 4th foul on Michigan. Pippen, guy who's gotten minutes kind of sporadically throughout Big Ten play. Solid defender, rebounder as Queen works one-on-one with Goldin. Little left hook is wild and off. Goldin taps, can't control. Gillespie does. And that's a deep 3 from Miguel, and he's got it. Right over the outstretched arm of Namari Burnett, and Maryland on a 15-2 run. Danny Wolf re-entered the game. He's on the left wing. Hands off to Pippen, who resets. Wolf pump fake, left wing 3. Drives middle, spins, turnaround jumper is pure. The high arcing jumper from the elbow is good for Wolf, and that'll snap the Michigan scoring drought. Some deep threes being made by Maryland as of late. Miguel and Rice providing that offensive spark. Gillespie comes off a screen from Queen. Little Steve Nash move. Miguel resets, gets into the lane. Right-handed floater's no good, but oh my. The outstretched arm of Derik Queen tapped that one back up and in. Maryland regains their 6-point edge. Amari Burnett now tries a right wing 3, won't go. Off back iron, Gillespie pushes the other way. Rodney Rice crosses over right hand, gets into the lane, and is fouled by Namari Burnett. Maryland picking up the pace, picking up the confidence, and it's causing Michigan some trouble here.
And on a night when Derik Queen, he has 8, but he's missed a couple of shots. Julian Reese has been pretty quiet. Selton Miguel has really picked up the slack. He's been aggressive getting downhill.
It's an inbound lob that is well defended by Pippen. Wolf collects and will go the other way. It's on the right wing now. It's Burnett, right corner. Entry pass to Goldin is taken away by Miguel. Active hands by this Maryland defense, and the turnover problems that plagued Michigan much of this year starting to rear their ugly head here early. Beautiful skip pass by Queen into the corner. Jordan Geronimo drops the hammer on Vlad Goldin. Timeout, Dusty May. Off the bounce pass from Gillespie. Go upstairs, young man. Maryland 26, Michigan 18, 4:33 left in the first half. A 19-4 Maryland run over the last 6.5 minutes. Plenty of signs, things we saw from this Illinois game here at Chrysler on Sunday. A little bit of lethargy, but particularly on the offensive end, it's been a struggle for the Wolverines this past 5 minutes.
Yeah, it has. I mean, one of Michigan's buckets mixed in there. One of their 4 was a Danny Wolf, somewhat ridiculous turnaround fadeaway jumper at the elbow. That's not a shot you can really rely on as good offense. It's just been a better job by Maryland on defense. They haven't let Michigan get an O board. They've done a really nice job pushing in transition, in particular Miguel and Rice. And also Derik Queen's gotten on the offensive glass a couple of times. This is a little bit, you know, reminiscent of that Illinois game, and that first half was low scoring. Then Illinois caught fire in the second half, just figured things out. Maryland maybe figuring out things a little bit early. Michigan needs to punch back here with a little over 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
And some good minutes out of Jordan Geronimo. 15 on the timer for Michigan. Will Cheddar will settle for the long 2. Front rim won't go. Geronimo, outstretched arm, reels in the board. Nearing 4 minutes left here in the first half. Derik Queen on the left wing matched up against Will Cheddar. Drives left hand, mid-range 2 is off. Ball tapped around and off of Justin Pippin. And another media timeout as we hit the under 4. So Dusty May gets a chance to reset, retalk with these Wolverines. Maryland 26, Michigan 18. As we enter this final segment of the first half, it's been all Maryland the last 7 minutes. We went into the under 12 talking about how Michigan finding their footing, but 19-4 Maryland run, shooting 4 of 10 from 3. Still 10 of 29 from the floor for the Terrapins. And you've mentioned Derik Queen settling a little bit tonight, but Maryland offense is doing quite well here.
He took another long 2 there, Queen, and to me that's a shot that, you know, he can make. I believe in his jumper. You know, as he develops as a pro, I believe he's going to be a good jump shooter, but I think he can get better against this Michigan defense. And, you know, this has just been a bit of a struggle for Michigan down the stretch of this half. Cheddar took a long 2. I don't hate that shot. He was left totally alone in the action. Wide open, got to take it. But Michigan right now, you're at 30% from the field, 2 for 8 from downtown. You're losing the rebound battle. That's been a pretty telltale sign for Michigan this year. They have not, you know, it's been tough for them to win in games. They've lost the rebound battle, and they have not done a great job, especially keeping Maryland off the offensive glass. Maryland's got 5 O boards in this one so far.
We've got a full court putt here. I was here for Illinois on Sunday. This one's wide left. It was here on Illinois. They did this again, and the contestant made it about 7 feet before it hit the stands. That was
that is bad, as you'll see.
Right. We are about 5-6 weeks away from the Masters. Fortunately, WCBN does not get to cover the Masters.
Oh, you should work on that.
I would be there in a heartbeat, that's for sure.
You never know. Request some credentials. You never know.
I tried for the U.S. Open.
Did you?
I did. They said it was a quick deny from the lovely people at the USGA, but it's understandable. I enjoyed my time there. Maryland enjoying their time here in Chrysler so far. We mentioned 4 and 5 on the road. It's been a bit of a struggle. Picked one up at Penn State. Winners of 5 of 6. That only loss was that Holloman 3/4 court shot for the Spartans, the Big Ten leading Spartans. Kind of end of February, kicked us into March here, and then obviously Burnett answered against Rutgers a week ago, but Maryland inbound with Gillespie. They get it in, now circle back top of the key. It's Geronimo, right hook, right over Wolf. It's pure, and Maryland's got a 10-point advantage here in the first.
Geronimo's given them some great minutes off the bench so far tonight. Energy Bunny with some good touch on that one.
Certainly has. Wolf, one of the few offensive players providing anything for the Wolverines at the top of the key. Donaldson, nice backdoor cut, got Rodney Rice sleeping. And an easy deuce for the Michigan point guard. First bucket of the evening. As we approach just over 3 minutes to play in the first half. Maryland's been in control the last 8. It's Rice wheeling and dealing with Queen at the top. Maryland loves this dribble handoff offense. It's been a little misdirection at the top of the key. Now Queen working on Cheddar. Gets to that left hand, is banked in, and Maryland's found a little rhythm offensively. Lead back up to 10. Maryland 30, Michigan 20. Danny Wolf, right wing, uses a Cheddar screen, in and out move, gets to the left elbow, and now he'll reset left wing with Donaldson. Little two-man game there. Wolf pops. Left wing extended three was open, didn't take it. Crowd mumbles. Now Wolf drives right hand, little right-handed lay. Those long arms of Danny Wolf got to the cup. Back-to-back layups for the Wolverines. Michigan still down 8. Gillespie drives left hand, has the switch with Wolf, but the more important switch is Queen with Burnett on him. Right wing Rice, now back to Queen. Michigan readjusted. Excuse me, now it's Rice with Wolf on him. Sidestep, tries a three short. Burnett collects, tapped around. And then Cheddar clears. Now Burnett right wing, uses the Wolf screen. Wolf pops. Michigan playing with a little bit more purpose these last few offensive sets. Burnett fakes a step back three, now comes back to Wolf top of the key. It's an in and out dribble. Danny Wolf's got some solid handle for a guy his size. He's working on Rodney Rice in the low block. Finds Cheddar, baseline is blocked. Excellent block by Jordan Geronimo, who's delivered a first half performance here, and it was back off of Cheddar. Crowd doesn't like it, but I believe the right call from our vantage point here. 1:48 left in the first half. Maryland brings it up. It's been a solid spurt from them offensively. It's Gillespie now right wing as the action works off to his left. Kicks Rodney Rice, drives left-handed, gets inside, challenges Goldin. Goldin wins that challenge. And Michigan comes the other way with Danny Wolf. Namari Burnett, open right wing three, long. Ball tapped around, it's off Cheddar, no foul call. Chrysler can't believe it.
That could have been a foul from my vantage point up here. Bit of a push off there by Selton Miguel, I believe, that knocked Cheddar over during the fight for the offensive rebound. Sometimes that's just how it goes, and if you're Michigan, you got to settle back down here. One thing to keep an eye on, Michigan is, basically switched everybody but Vlad Goldin on defense. It's gotten some mismatches, smalls on bigs, bigs on smalls for this Maryland offense.
So Rice at the top of the key. Gapari checks in for the first time for Maryland, replacing Geronimo, and can't overstate how important his stretch was as Rice gets into the mid-range. Step back jumper's no good. Queen grabs the board, now works on Cheddar. ISO, good hands by Donaldson, and Michigan comes the other way with Gale. No call there. Crowd anticipating the whistle. Donaldson comes off a Cheddar screen, now drives right hand, gets wild pass to the corner, intended for Burnett. 7th Michigan turnover of the first half. Big part of the reason Maryland's in control with this 8-point lead. It's 49.5 on the clock. See if Maryland elects to go for the 2-for-1 here. Gillespie brings it up, trying to get an action with Rice. It stumbles into his screen. Now it's Queen, right hand. Queen top of the key, back to Gillespie, off the screen, working left. Kicks corner, Selton Miguel fakes, now fires, off balance three. Got it.
I don't know how he hit that. He sort of jumped forward, hung in the air longer than he usually would to try to draw the contact. Michigan defender flew right by him and he hit it anyways.
Selton Miguel, 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from downtown, leading the way with 13 points and 12 on the timer and the shot clock. Gets into Goldin, who attacks with that left hand, won't go, collects his own miss, lays it up, won't go again. Derik Queen collects it. They got to push. 2 seconds, one. Miguel, the guy to have it and shoot it. After the buzzer, it was long anyway, but impressive half from the Terrapins, shooting 42% from three as they have an 11-point advantage at intermission over Michigan. Say that fast 5 times in a row.
As you said, it was a good half for Maryland. And if you're Michigan, you've got some questions to answer in the second half. You've struggled, in this first half. You struggled against Illinois offensively. 22 points in the first half just isn't going to cut it. When I take this big picture, Danny Wolf has been better tonight. He's been more aggressive off the dribble. He's hit a couple of jumpers. Vlad Goldin's been aggressive. He probably should have made one of those two on that possession there. But the other guys around the bigs have to step up. Perimeter players have to be better. Trey Donaldson has 2 1-for-4. He had a turnover, a bad one over there a few moments ago, trying to get it to Burnett in the corner. But, Donaldson's the guy who can create. Roddy Gale can get downhill to an extent. Burnett and Reuben Jones and Will Cheddar are mostly catch-and-shoot guys. Donaldson and to an extent Gale Jr., those are the perimeter players that can get downhill, create for themselves, create for others. We've got to see a little bit more from them in the second half, as Michigan has to be able to have more options offensively than Goldin and Wolf, especially in the half court. Things have been a little bit stagnant.
Certainly seems as if Michigan has been a little bit stuck offensively, both in the second half of that game, but also, in the second half of that first half, but also these past few weeks. It's been not the greatest offensive performance. Obviously, we remember that barn burner in Lincoln against Nebraska that Michigan eked out. Michigan wasn't able to get much going against Illinois on Sunday, and they've been prone to allow big scoring halves as well. Illinois put up 60 in that second half. Rutgers had, I believe, 58 in the first half here in Chrysler. So some inconsistent basketball, and I think, to your point, offensively, teams are doing a much better job at taking away Michigan's go-to, which is Goldin and Wolf, taking away that pick and roll, taking away the instant offense from the post. And Michigan, they feel stuck. They feel like guys are thinking too much, not sure what to do. Shots aren't really falling. 2 of 9 from 3. Burnett's 1-for-4. Gale's 0-for-2. Cheddar's 0-for-2. Right, Donaldson's 1-for-4. Goldin's only 3-for-11 tonight. So Maryland and the 2 bigs have done a great job of containing him, but it's going to be it's been a struggle so far for Michigan, and they're going to have to find some ways to ignite some offense here. But as mentioned, Selton Miguel leading the way with 13 points for Maryland. Derik Queen with, honestly, kind of a quiet 10 despite his 9 shots. Done a nice job on the glass with 8 boards for Maryland. And Maryland's winning the rebounding battle as well, 23-19, and I think that kind of resembles this game as well. Michigan not able to capitalize offensively, Maryland taking advantage on the other end. But if you're Dusty May right now, and you see guys, Gale, Jones, Kaysen, even Pippen, right, you can see all 4 of those guards mixed in, try and find some offensive spark. Where does he go here? What words can he use to motivate, or what kind of game planning decisions can he make to try and ignite some offense for the Wolverines?
I think this team at its best is a team that, lives on early offense and in transition. Once they've struggled in the half court, especially tonight, and if they can get rebounds, rip them down, and go, and that's been this team's MO all season, that'd be a big boon for this team. I don't love what I've seen in the half court. Spacing's been a little bit stuffy. Maryland's done a good job bothering Michigan's bigs and keeping length out there on the perimeter to keep guys off the three-point line. It doesn't help really when Roddy Gale's hesitant to shoot it, and your spacing could be a little bit better. But, defensively, Michigan's done a fine job. You can win a game when you hold a team like Maryland to 33.5. Yeah. You can't win a game when you give up 60 to Illinois in the second half, 50-something to Rutgers in the first half. That makes your life a lot harder. Right now, your defense is fine. For whatever reason, Maryland has settled for some pull-up jumpers, Derik Queen most notably. And Michigan's length, whatever they're presenting, has offered some challenge. But Michigan offensively, I really don't know where you go here. I think if you can get it to Gold on the low block, that's great. I think if you can push in transition, that's really where this team can excel. And Donaldson can push it. Wolf can push it. Gale Jr. can run the floor. Burnett can float to the corner, knock down some threes in transition. I think the early offense is Michigan's best strength on offense. In the half court, I really don't have an obvious answer for where they can go. The Goldin and Wolf actions haven't been as good as usual, but honestly, those are the guys I want the ball in the hands of right now. I'd be happy to see Wolf and Goldin pick and roll action if you have the side cleared out for the 2 of them well spaced.
Michigan led by Danny Wolf. He's got half their points. It's 11 points early for Danny Wolf, 3 assists, been much better tonight. Goldin with 6 points, 6 boards. For Maryland, Sultan Miguel leads the way with 13. Derik Queen, 8 boards. Jacoby Gillespie with 4 assists. Also mentioned that turnover battle. Michigan 7 turnovers, Maryland 3. Just kind of all the little things adding up to this Maryland lead, but I want to get into some maybe bigger picture stuff here, even though the picture, the window for the rest of the season is actually quite small relative to the whole thing. But obviously we mentioned March. Here we are. Big games coming up for both of these teams, but in particular Michigan. It hasn't been the smoothest of roads recently. What do you currently, last 5 minutes of the game, got to have it. What do you think the best 5 is for the Wolverines? I'm putting you on the spot here, and I think this is tough.
I mean, I want to believe that I can pretty confidently say that it's Wolf, Goldin, Donaldson, Burnett, and Roddy Gale Jr. I really do believe he can be a pivotal piece for Michigan. And his length is great on defense. He's active on the glass. He can bother guys defensively, but he's got to offer something on offense. And we've seen him as a slasher have success at times. But, with all of his struggles from the three-point line, I would still love to see him shoot it. I believe when you watch this guy in warm-ups, he knocks him down. Mechanically, the shot looks pretty pure to me. And, I think he's better than a 20% shooter that he is right now. Is he a 40% guy? Probably not. But he's somewhere in between, and I'd love to see him play with more confidence, shoot the basketball when you're left alone, be aggressive in transition, play as hard as you can on defense, make an impact over there. And I think Michigan at its best, as I said, is a team that pushes in transition. Make or miss, you're going to push the basketball and try to get something in the early offense. And in the half court, I think you're just hoping that something can come alive of some sort of action with Wolf and Goldin, and maybe Donaldson mixed in there behind the arc, but he hasn't really shot it as well either. But I still believe those are your best 5 individual players. I think they're your best 5 together. They should be good on the defensive end. You got to hope they can be better on offense.
Roddy Gale, the Ohio State transfer, has had flashes this year, right, of a player that has offered promise. And there's an athleticism, an explosiveness in the open court that maybe is lacking from the rest of this Michigan team. But as you mentioned, it's been a struggle from deep for him. 20% on the year. And Reuben Jones, same thing. I think if whoever between those two starts to make more shots, and potentially it's even LJ Kaysen, right, the freshman, or Justin Pippen. Both those guys have gotten some chances, and I think that's important for both their development, but I think it's also a sign of Dusty May trying to figure some things out on the fly. Like, I think Dusty May isn't quite sure what that best 5 is. I think he wants it to be Roddy Gale because I think he knows that that's how Michigan reaches its peak. But somebody's got to start stepping up and making a few shots or offering some elite defense. I know Michigan's played pretty well tonight, but there's been nothing to really get this crowd going. It's been a 26-10 Maryland run over the past 12 minutes of this half. And, for a team that was supposed to run and gun and scored a lot of points early in the season, it's been some offensive struggles as of late against some of these really high-quality Big Ten teams down the stretch. But overall, still hanging around. Plenty to clean up. Plenty to get in. Fun first half. But Jordan Geronimo was huge. I mean, we talked about him. I mean, Maryland, they're 13-0 when scoring 80. We'll see if they get there. But they're 7-0 when their bench outscores their opponent. And pull up the numbers on that in just a second. But Geronimo has provided a level of energy. Julian Reese picked up 2 kind of early-ish fouls. And in the first half, you want to play careful, but Geronimo played with energy, grabbed rebounds. The poster dunk over Vlad Goldin is not an easy feat either, and provided quite the spark for the Terrapins in that first half. And I think that's kind of what Michigan is missing, and what a guy like Cheddar is maybe supposed to provide in a scenario like that.
Yeah, Geronimo played some great minutes, and big credit to that guy. And that last year he started all but 5 of their games, 26 of 31. Played 23 minutes a game, and this year you bring in the freshman Derik Queen. Julian Reese is still around. You bring in Tafari Gapari as another big that can play off the bench, and his minutes have significantly dropped. They've basically been cut in a third, and yet tonight he comes in a day that they need him, and has really played great. He's been aggressive on offense. He's been a great rebounder, and just credit to him for staying ready for the moment and giving Maryland a boost. Because, I mean, the story with this Maryland team, they've got 5 guys. That's the base scouting report. You got to deal with Gillespie, Rice, Miguel, and the 2 bigs, Queen and Reese. And so, for Kevin Willard, anything he can get beyond those 5 off the bench is a huge boost to this team.
Certainly is. I mentioned briefly Maryland 7-0 when their bench outscores opponents, and it's one of the lowest scoring benches in the country. This is the best scoring starting 5 in the country. It's Reese, Miguel, Queen, Gillespie, and Rice. Highest points per game out of a starting 5 in the country, and Maryland's bench is outscoring Michigan's bench 4-0 tonight. So it's.
Michigan only has 22 points, and Wolf's 11 of them.
It's been an offensive struggle for sure. Certainly Big Ten football-esque. Right now, Michigan not able to throw the 10-yard out route, but as we kind of get here, ready to roll here in the second half, and appreciate being here. Appreciate being here with you.
Oh, you too.
I know we're gonna do a little infamous WCBN switcheroo as we get to the second half. But what do you think of the atmosphere as we kind of transition here? Like, this is for a Wednesday night, spring break.
It's not bad, but it could be better for a Michigan team that's ranked
Agreed.
17th in the country playing a top 15 team.
I agree.
But, student section's going to be quiet on a spring break game. Not a bad atmosphere, but Chrysler Center's never been the most, dangerous home arena. But, one thing I will say before we totally transition over, it's not all doom and gloom for Michigan. The game's far from over. You're down 11. You can cut that with a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
But you've got to be better on offense. You've got to keep getting stops on defense. You've just got to mix something up here.
Certainly do. And for Maryland, pedal to the metal, right? They found their footing in that second half as like a little live switch here. Wow, we are.
All righty, welcome back into the Chrysler Center. Brief break as we got sorted here. Just the 2 of us this
Untangle our feet a little bit.
Untangle the feet, untangle the wires, get situated for a second half. Maryland 33, Michigan 22. Just over 2 minutes left here in halftime. And Dan, as we switch over, I feel like I've done a lot of the talking, if you will, color stuff here. Big picture, what are you looking for second half? What do you see first half? What are you hoping to see second half?
Well, I think we talked about it a little bit at halftime. I want to see Michigan get out and run a little bit more. I think that's where they're at their best offensively and can find guys like Burnett spotting up on the wing. You get Gale in transition, I think, is huge. You think about the game they won here against Purdue. Roddy Gale had one of his better games of the season and was in control, and a lot of that was due to the fact that he was playing in transition. He was playing fast, but with his head down, clear drives to the basket, one-on-one attempts, and I think that'll be sort of an emphasis for Michigan because they can play fast, right? And Maryland hit some tough shots in that first half as well. I think Maryland has to play with a little bit better pace. I know that the numbers aren't too bad, but I didn't think their half-court offense was particularly effective. They just made shots. So Michigan's done a nice job defensively. Maryland's done an awesome job defensively. Very active hands. Michigan's turnover prone. They've kind of made that very apparent or jumped on those opportunities that Michigan's provided. So it'll be an interesting half. I think if Michigan can come out with a quick spark to kind of get the crowd back into it and get them to believe it, it just feels flat in here.
Yeah.
And it's felt flat in here for a few years now. And it's time for games like this to bring something to the crowd. It's the last home game of the season. It's a team that has done a total 180. It's a program that's done a total 180. And, you know, the support's been solid as of late, and it's not too bad tonight, but need to give the crowd something to cheer about. I think that's Michigan's goal, and I think probably something somewhat along the lines of Dusty May's word. He probably got more X's and O's than that, but give the crowd something to cheer about and get back in this ball game.
Get back in this ball game indeed. Maryland 33, Michigan 22. Just 30 seconds left here in halftime. Moments from being back underway. You're listening to WCBN Sports, the official student radio, the University of Michigan. Last home game for this team before they go off to Indianapolis next week for the Big Ten tournament and March Madness. After that, Alex Miller, Dan Olson alongside me. Thrilled to be with you here for this second half, and both teams back on the floor with Michigan basketball. Gale Jr., Donaldson, Burnett, Wolf, and Goldin. No surprises. Gillespie, Rice, Miguel, Queen, and Reese for the Maryland Terrapins. 33 Maryland, 22 Michigan at halftime. Gale Jr. awaits to inbound the basketball. We'll get back underway just in a moment.
All right, Michigan fans, final half of basketball here at home this season. We need your help to
Danny Wolf has led the way for Michigan. He's got 11 of their 22 on 5 for 6 shooting. He's got 3 assists, 3 boards. Big man has had it going. Michigan needs some other guys to step up here in the second half. And here we go. Maryland leads by 11, 33-22, and it's into Trey Donaldson. He'll walk it across the timeline. 2-3 zone look from Maryland. Donaldson dribbles to the right wing, just right of the Michigan block M. Over to Burnett, back up top, Donaldson. Now to Vlad Goldin on the left block. Puts his back to the basket, sees a double out to Donaldson. He'll drive the basketball right alley, hangs in the air, up and under layup. He spun it home with some English. Tough finish by Donaldson to open the half. 33-24 Maryland, 19:34 to play. Jacoby Gillespie sends it to Julian Reese. Only played 10 minutes in the first half. It's with Miguel now back up top to Rodney Rice. Has Wolf on him, skips it to Gillespie right wing. Inside to Reese, he's got Burnett on his hip. Reese backs down, Goldin doubles. Reese kicks it out to Rice, and a travel by Julian Reese before he kicked it out. Turnover by Maryland.
Good start for the Wolverines. A couple positive plays, bring a little life to this crowd. That Donaldson move was something. A little up and under. I think he had the extra pass to Burnett, but Michigan's better when Trey Donaldson is aggressive on the offensive end.
Donaldson on the left wing has the basketball, crosses over on Miguel, now hesitates, tried to bounce it to Goldin. It went off the foot of Julian Reese. Kicked ball violation. 33-24 Maryland, 19:03. Michigan basketball with 20 on the shot clock.
Michigan tried to force the ball into Goldin and Wolf a few times down low. That resulted in some deflected balls.
Inbound to Wolf at the free throw line, drives left side, missed it too strong. Derik Queen had a piece of it. They'll go with Jacoby Gillespie the other way. Maryland leads 33-24, 18:50 to play. Gillespie gets a screen to his left, sends it up top, Derik Queen. Hands it back to Gillespie, bobbled the catch, runs it back down just in front of half court, sends it to Rodney Rice on the right wing. Enters the post to Julian Reese, has Namari Burnett on long strides, kicks it left wing. Miguel sidesteps off a pump fake, puts up the three-pointer, no good off the heel. Rebound, Danny Wolf. Trey Donaldson will push the other way, 33-24 Maryland. Donaldson picks up his dribble at the right wing, now to Goldin at the nail. And he tried to get it to Wolf. Pass intercepted Miguel. He's got a runway and just goes up for the layup. Easy deuce. Nice anticipation by Selton Miguel. 35-24 Maryland. It's with Wolf up top. Dribbles with his right hand. Tried to bounce it to Gale Jr. Sloppy pass. Miguel takes it away once more. He'll bring it up the left side. Leave it behind him. Rice. Open three-pointer. Too strong. Rebound Wolf. 35-24 Maryland, 18 minutes to play here in the second half. And another turnover. Wolf throws it right to Rodney Rice. He'll push it up, right wing to Gillespie. He'll drive it inside. Now reset it out to the left wing. Gale Jr. on it. Up top to Queen. He'll hand it back to Gillespie. He'll fire a left wing three-pointer just off the front iron. Rebound, Vlad Goldin. Couple of good looks from three off turnovers for Maryland that haven't fallen. 35-24 Terrapins, 17:36 to play here in the second half. It's with Trey Donaldson up top. He'll send it to Wolf on the left wing. Wolf has Derik Queen in his grill. Still has his dribble, has yet to put it on the deck, sends it up top to Amari Burnett. Has a screen from his left from Goldin and from Wolf, picks up his dribble, sends it to Donaldson right wing. Now inside to Gold on the block. He turns, puts up a lefty hook and swirls it home. 34-26 Maryland, 17-12 to play. Jacoby Gillespie will bring it up for the Terrapins. He's at half court, guarded by Roddy Gale Jr. Sends it to Rodney Rice up top. Gale Jr. switches on him now. Burnett on him off a Reese screen. Rice sends it over to Miguel on the left wing. Drives past Donaldson, puts up a floater from 8 feet out and knocks it down. Tough shot for Selton Miguel. 37-26 Maryland.
He's been aggressive tonight, and it's paid dividends for Maryland. Love to see that kind of aggressiveness out of Roddy Gale if you're a Michigan fan.
Donaldson over to Wolf up top. He's got Gillespie on him. Gives to Goldin right wing. He surveys. Now to Wolf, short corner on the right side. Miguel on his hip. Reese flashes a double, then leaves him alone. And a skip pass turned over. Derik Queen jumped it. He's on a runway down the right side. Step through move, and Gale Jr. slapped down and committed the foul. Boy, a couple of rough decisions by Danny Wolf that have led to turnovers. He now has 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers for Michigan as a team in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's head scratching at its, the nicest way to put it. These are passes that are going right to Maryland defenders. I mean, just clearly not seeing the game very well at the moment. And this is, I think part of it is Wolf trying to force the action. Michigan's trying to make something happen because there's just not a lot happening at the moment. And that's where you get into trouble like this. You get Maryland out in transition. And frankly, Michigan's lucky to only be down 12. Maryland's had some nice looks in transition from 3, and guys like Rice and Miguel have proven they're good three-point shooters. So this game, important next kind of 4 minutes here for Michigan to gain control, some offensive footing here.
Derik Queen got the first, missed the second. 76.5% shooter, splits the pair. 38-26 Maryland. Reuben Jones and Will Cheddar in for Michigan. Jones sends it to Cheddar in the right corner, puts up a 3, knocks it down. Much needed triple for Will Cheddar off the Michigan bench. 38-29 Maryland, 16:04 to play. Gillespie has it right wing, crosses over, sends it to Reese up top. Now to Jay Young, who entered. He gives it to the post to Queen. Will Cheddar on his hip. Queen bodies in, fades away. Righty hook, no good. And it goes off the head of Trey Donaldson and out of bounds. Under 16 media timeout. 38 Maryland, 29 Michigan. 15:53 to play in this one.
Good stint from Maryland out of the half. Michigan started with a few good plays, but their inability to string a few plays together has been the big issue here for Michigan tonight. And I mean, those Danny Wolf turnovers were pretty shockingly bad as we honor a member of our armed forces here. But
and those live ball turnovers that Wolf practically handed the Terrapins, those can be killer. Michigan in a way caught a break that Maryland failed to convert offensively in a few of those possessions.
Certainly did, and some good looks for guys like Rice, Miguel. I mentioned briefly, like, very good shooters, and they proved that in the first half, knocking down some tough shots. And I'm sure Maryland's kicking themselves a little bit because, Cheddar comes down, hits a 3, cuts it back to a 9-point game. Michigan's a team capable of getting on a run, but Wolf's been the guy that sparked the offense pretty much the entire year. And so now you're having to turn to Donaldson potentially. I mean, Cheddar's not going to create his own offense, but it's going to be a lot of Cheddar and Goldin in the second half if that's how Wolf's seeing the court. And that's not necessarily a winning formula for the Wolverines, but
(38-29) Maryland, 15:53 to play here in the second half. 9-point lead for the Terrapins. It was 11 at halftime. So technically positive minutes for Michigan, even though it's felt like it
certainly
mostly
didn't
Maryland.
feel like it. Yeah.
Will Cheddar with the 3-pointer in the corner boost to Michigan's efforts.
Well, and I think if you're Maryland, you got to be cognizant of it, right? Like this is an important 4-minute stretch because you can kind of feel the game teetering a little bit. I think if you're Maryland, you can smell some blood in the water. Wolf's off the court. Donaldson struggled tonight. Cheddar hit a corner 3 off of 1 pass. Like, there wasn't great offensive action by the Wolverines. And Maryland's getting some good shots, right? And then I know they've struggled on the road this year, but if you're them, you feel pretty confident that you can go put an 8-0, 9-0 spurt on Michigan, go up 17-18, take the crowd completely out of the game, and kind of, you know, choose your dance move on the way in, right? Waltz, slow dance, maybe a little Dougie if you want to. But this is a game Maryland's got Michigan right now, and it's whether or not they can execute enough to kind of put the Wolverines to bed early. Don't let the Wolverines hang on. Michigan is good in close games. They've proven that all year, that when they're hanging around, they're a tough out. But this is Danny Wolf out, said this a few times, but this is the moment to strike if you're the Terrapins.
It's Maryland basketball on the baseline. Rodney Rice, Julian Reese. In there's Jordan Geronimo and Jay Young off the bench. Alongside Gillespie, it's into Reese on the right wing. Gives it to Rodney Rice up top. Now Gillespie on the right wing, Donaldson on him. Into the post to Reese, has Vlad Goldin on his backside. Reese works inside. Now Cheddar, some help, kicks into the corner. Jay Young drives the baseline, puts up a tough floater, no good, gets his own rebound. He's underneath, bunch of Michigan defenders reaching at him. Ball gets poked out, Young runs it down on the right wing. Now to Gillespie, rejects a screen to his right, bounce pass to Reese. 8-foot floater is good for Julian Reese. 40-29 Maryland, 15:22 to play. Donaldson, Burnett, Cheddar, Reuben Jones, and Goldin for the Wolverines. It's with Goldin left wing now. He surveys, now up top to Donaldson at the Block M logo. Gets a screen from Goldin to his left. Weaves inside to the right side, picks up his dribble, bounces it to Goldin low on the block, turns to his right hand and puts it up right hand, right side off the glass. 40-31 Maryland, 15 minutes to play and here in Ann Arbor.
Loved Goldin's efficiency in his moves tonight, just getting to that right or left hand quick, not too much shake and bake, and make Maryland pay.
Julian Reese up top, hands it off to Jay Young. He comes around the screen, and a moving screen called on Julian Reese. Will Cheddar knocked him down. Reese thought he was set. Deemed not so. Michigan basketball trailing by 9, 40-31 Maryland, 14:46 to play.
That's a big call there. Reese is a great shot blocker, offers good defense. It hasn't been his night tonight, and I think that's the right call. He's not set, and he falls over because he's off balance in his screen. So see if Michigan can take advantage.
Third foul on Reese. He goes off. Derik Queen returns for Maryland. Trey Donaldson brings it up. Now to Goldin on the right elbow. Goldin searches, now drives into screen, steps by him, and banks it home. Went right past Derik Queen for an easy deuce. 40-33 Maryland, 14:28 to play. Terrapin lead cut to 7. It's with Jacoby Gillespie up top, now Rodney Rice. Rice gets a screen from Queen to his left, pocket pass to Derik Queen. He rumbles down, turns to his left hand and finishes. Crafty stuff for Derik Queen, 42-33 Maryland, 14:10 to play. Donaldson skips it, Reuben Jones, open right wing three-pointer, no good off the back iron. Rebound Vlad Goldin, and he's fouled underneath. Geronimo and Queen surrounded him. He got a bump, he'll shoot a pair.
So Goldin's been dominant on the inside the past few minutes, and previous move, Michigan's had some success getting Queen away from the basket and attacking with Wolf or Goldin off the dribble. And Goldin, especially the dribble, isn't necessarily one of his stronger suits, but worked there on the last one. Of course, Queen answers on the other end.
First trip to the stripe today for Goldin. He knocks down the first shot. He's a 70% shooter on the season. Knocks down the first. He struggled a bit as of late at the line. That number on the season was sitting in the mid-70s. Now he's down to 70 flat. Bounces the basketball, bends the knees, puts it up. He got them both. 42-35 Maryland, 14:04 to play. LJ Kaysen in there for Michigan. Guards Gillespie, all 94 feet of the floor. Gillespie gets across the timeline. Gives it up to Derik Queen at the logo. Queen dribbles it to the right wing. Handoff action for Rodney Rice. He comes across the screen, keeps Reuben Jones on his hip, puts up a floater from 8 feet out and knocks it down. Michigan will push with LJ Kaysen up the left side. He keeps his dribble to the right wing. Now picks it up. Over to Donaldson up top, down to Gold on the left block, turns into Queen, banks it home with his right hand. Strong finish for Vlad Goldin, 44-37 Maryland, 13:30 to play. Gillespie has it at the logo, gets it off to Rice, who fakes the handoff back, still has the basketball, gets a screen from Queen to his left, drives in, lost it, Reuben Jones took it away, throws it ahead, Donaldson, shovel pass ahead, LJ Kaysen out alone, lays it up right hand, right side, 44-39 Maryland, 13:08 to play. It's over to Geronimo, he takes a timeout, Kevin Willard wants a timeout, the Chrysler Center is as loud as it's been all night, everybody on their feet. 44 Maryland, 39 Michigan, 13:05 to play here in Ann Arbor. Michigan is 6 for their last 7 from the field. They've gotten a couple stops, forced a couple of turnovers, and things look on the up for the Wolverines.
Vlad Goldin certainly come to life in the second half. It's 10 second half points, everything down on that right block, using that right hand. Going baseline or one little left hook kind of into the middle of the lane, but Michigan's been efficient in getting him the ball. There's a little bit of movement to kind of get some guys out of there, clear the space. Nice entry passes. Maryland's got to up their defensive pressure. They're making these passes into Goldin too easy, and once he's down there, he's a big, strong frame. Queen has to be careful with Reese in foul trouble. He can't be too physical, otherwise they're down to just kind of Geronimo, who's got the size to match up down there, but excellent start by Michigan, and the game's changed a little since Danny Wolf has come out of the ball game. And as we talked about at the last kind of break here, it's like big spot for Maryland. No Danny Wolf. How's Michigan going to score? They've done it with Goldin. Efficiency, getting it in there. He's been quick, decisive. That's what you want out of your big men. Then also down here, forcing turnovers, getting things out in transition. That's a good way to get Kaysen going. Reuben Jones tried a 3 on the wing. That was nice to see. It was an early clock 3, but it was open. Maryland's going to play the zone, leave that little pocket on the wing. Reuben Jones has proven in his college career that he's a good shooter. Why not let it fly? Goldin's there on the cleanup, and stronger start for Michigan, and you can sense it here in the building that there's some belief that Michigan can, 1, get back in this game, but 2, also take advantage of this and go on and win this thing.
44-39 Maryland, 13:05 to play here in the second half. Plenty of time for either of these two squads to pull away. Maryland's largest lead was 12. It's down to 5. The Wolverines crawling back into this one on their home floor. And on that floor for the Wolverines, Will Cheddar and Vlad Goldin, the bigs, Trey Donaldson, Reuben Jones, and LJ Kaysen, the guards.
And Danny Wolf's night certainly is not over. You can see the coach talking him on the sideline. He's going to have a moment where he's going to make some big plays. Dusty May is actually talking directly to Wolf, Gale, and Burnett right now, but specifically Wolf and Gale. Two guys, Gale for a while now, but Wolf, especially this game, telling them to stay ready because their moment is coming. Michigan's going to need them down the stretch, even despite this good run from the 5 that's out there right now.
For Maryland, it's Rice, Queen, Geronimo, Miguel, and Gillespie. Rice will be the inbounder on the sideline just in front of the Maryland bench. Kevin Willard stands by the scorer's table to his right, barking out orders to his point guard, Jacoby Gillespie. Gillespie wanders toward the backcourt. 44 Maryland, 39 Michigan, 13:05 to play. Rice gets it into Gillespie, high to the left side of the logo. Michigan in a 2-3 zone here. It's with Gillespie up top, over to Rice on the left wing. Gets a screen from Queen. Now over to Gillespie, right wing. He'll fire a deep three-pointer and bury it. Jacoby Gillespie can shoot the rock, knocks one down. Michigan pushes the other way. LJ Kaysen is tripped by Gillespie. Hands go over his head. He's in disbelief. Foul called. 47-39 Maryland, 12:48 to play.
How about the crowd silencer from Gillespie? His first made shot of the day. Right wing 3, nothing but the bottom.
He's 1 for 7 on the day, 1 for 5 from three-point land. Kaysen shovels it into Donaldson on the right side. Gets it to Reuben Jones, left wing. Dribbles in and has it stripped by Derik Queen, who tried to pass it ahead. And he is, I believe, fouled by LJ Kaysen on the baseline. He is. Kaysen was trying to bump with him with a loose ball and got whistled.
This goes back to the sort of chronic carelessness of the basketball for Michigan, in particular their guards. Obviously, Wolves had his struggles tonight, but just Jones not being strong enough with the basketball, and good hands from the big man Queen.
It's with Derik Queen on the right wing. 47-39 Maryland. Dribble handoff action for Rice. Turns the corner down the right side. And he threw it away, but they'll call it Maryland basketball. Reuben Jones was down there. It looked like if he'd gotten a piece of it, it was long before the pass was thrown. And a replay is shown here at the Chrysler Center, and the crowd erupts. On the floor, basketball into Queen. He'll hand it off to Gillespie. 12 on the shot clock as he resets it to the logo. It's a screen from Queen on the right wing to his right. Picks up his dribble to Queen at the right elbow. Outside Miguel. One more to the corner. Open look for Rice in the left corner. And he buries it. 50-39 Maryland. 12:09 to play. Kaysen left alone. Left wing. Too strong. Rebound tipped around and squeezed by Geronimo for the Terrapins. Here comes Miguel up the left side for Maryland. Now up top, Gillespie. Thought about a deep three-pointer. Now jabs right, goes left, spins around in the lane, kicks it out into the corner. Geronimo tries a three-pointer and misses long. Derik Queen the rebound. Out to Miguel. He pump fakes. Now settles it back down. Geronimo on the year just 1 for 4 from three-point land. It's into Queen on the block. Bounces it low to Geronimo. Couldn't catch the pass. Out to Miguel. Deep left wing three-pointer. Off the heel. Rebound Goldin.
Michigan dodged a bullet there. That's a great look for Miguel. Couple chances as well to get this lead well into double digits. And
Goldin puts it on the deck from the left elbow, dribbled in and was fouled. That'll bring us to the under 12 media timeout. Maryland leads 50-39 over Michigan, 11:22 to play. Foul will go on Derik Queen, that's his first. (50-39 Maryland, 11:22 to play. Maryland on a mini 6-0 run in the last minute and 32 seconds.
Yeah, knocking down the three ball. Michigan's gotten collapsed on defense. Some good looks for the Maryland Terrapins, and they've knocked them down. And you know, we talked about going into the last time out as Michigan made their run, how Maryland had an opportunity to kind of squeeze the life out of Michigan, so to speak, in this ball game, and weren't able to do it in the previous stretch, but these last few minutes were awesome for Maryland. Excellent defense. Michigan got a little careless with the ball, and then Maryland comes down, makes it pay. I mean, the three-pointer is the great, kind of separator in today's game, and you look at the numbers from deep. Maryland's plus 12 from the three-point line over the Wolverines tonight, and plus 11 on the scoreboard. So Michigan's climbing an uphill battle right now, and Maryland's doing a good job of shooting the basketball when they're open.
And I feel like I said this a few times in the first half. That stretch could have been better for the Terrapins. Miguel missed an open three-pointer. Geronimo's was open, not a guy who shoots for three a ton, but took an open one there. Could have been better for the Terrapins. Michigan, in a way, lucky to only trail by 11 here with 11:22 to play.
Certainly are. I mean, in 11 striking distance, right? Like, this is, you're a few possessions away from a 1 or 2 possession game, a quick run, and you can tell the crowd's ready to go. So there's this idea, it's an opportunity. Stop, bucket, This place will be on their feet. Back in it, pressure will be on, and we'll go from there. But just doesn't seem like Michigan's got enough options on offense currently. Feels like guys feel stuck in what they're trying to do, and kind of not really thinking about what's next. They're thinking too hard about what they have to do instead of just playing basketball, and I think it's pretty evident to me. And not that I've played basketball at a high level by any means.
Pretty high level.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the UMIM is the highest of levels that I know, but it's you can just kind of get a sense when guys aren't playing free, and Michigan certainly doesn't look like a team that's playing free. And Maryland, they just got to stay out of their own way. Maryland, their mistakes Maryland is making is not enough ball pressure on Michigan, which they upped the past few minutes, and then kind of offensively just knocking down some shots. But that's basketball. That's part of it. So they can control their intensity on defense. But Michigan's coming back. Gale, Wolf, Burnett, Donaldson, Goldin. I think Dusty May recognizes the importance of this next 4-minute stretch here. Try and maintain the crowd's energy and keep this basketball team in the game.
Starting fives on the floor for both squads. Michigan will inbound it in the half court from the baseline. Donaldson, the trigger man. Maryland leads 50-39, 11:22 left to play here. Gets into Wolf on the short corner. Up top, Burnett now to Vlad Goldin. Bounce pass backdoor to Burnett. He rises up and throws it down with 2 hands. 50-41 Maryland, 11:10 to play. Excellent baseline out of bounds set there, drawn up by Dusty May. 9-point ball game. It's with Gillespie, guarded by Roddy Gale Jr. all the way out at half court. Now Miguel on the right wing. Bounce it down to Reese, and Donaldson takes it away. He'll push it up to Wolf on the left wing. He surveys, now puts it on the floor, kicks it out. Donaldson, he'll fire a deep three-pointer and get nothing but the bottom of the net. 50-44. Donaldson raised his hands above his head. He walks the crowd into it. 6-point game, 10:40 to play.
We'll talk about bucket, stop, bucket. Here we go.
Derik Queen up top. Fakes a handoff to Rice, now sends it to Miguel. He'll use a screen from Queen, bounce it down to Julian Reese on the left block. Spins around, Danny Wolf puts it up left hand. No good, rebound bounced around. Goldin squeezes it. Back to Donaldson, he'll bring it up. 50-44 Maryland. Wolf up the right side, rises up and throws it down. My oh my, Danny Wolf to the sky. Holy cow, we've got a ball game all of a sudden. Timeout, Kevin Willard. 50-46 Maryland, 10:08 to play in the second half. And man, oh man, did you think Danny Wolf had those hops in him?
Oh, let the Wolf howl. Fast break, nobody stopped the ball. That's what they teach you in 3rd grade. Stop the ball, Danny Wolf. Nobody in front of me, free lane. Let me rise, cock it back, throw it down, young man. And just like that, what I say just a few minutes ago? Bucket, stop, bucket, stop. And I know, whatever, yada, yada. You could say that all day, but, man, this crowd is ready to go tonight. And Michigan's starting to make some plays. They're playing quicker, too, like we talked about. I mean, this is I think, the way that Michigan plays their best basketball going forward. Obviously, the turnover, Donaldson gets the steal, gets the ball back, knocks down a 3. Excellent play by him. But then even the last one, it was Michigan was, in theory, running 5-on-4 off of a rebound, and I think they can do that more. I think it's there more. Queen was behind the player. Maybe it was Reese. But certainly back in this ball game with 10 minutes to go, 4-point game. I mean, this is what you wanted coming out of halftime, the response that you wanted.
50-46 Maryland, 10 minutes to play, and it's into Gillespie. He's on the left wing, into the middle to Queen. He power dribbles, drives in, and is fouled by Vlad Goldin, who is as frustrated by a call as maybe I've ever seen all season. Derik Queen will shoot a pair. 50-46 Maryland, 9:57 to play. First foul on Vlad Goldin, who thought he got a lot of basketball.
Yeah, so from my view, he went straight up and then right at the last moment brought those arms down. I think it's a pretty good call by the official, and tough one though. I think Goldin's just reacting to a lot of energy in the crowd right now. Goldin's a player that wears his passion on his sleeve, to say the least. Donaldson, same kind of way, so certainly.
Derik Queen bends the knees. First free throw is up and off the iron. Scoring drought of over 2 minutes for the Terrapins. Queen, a 76% shooter, misses the first on the day. He's 3 for 5 at the stripe. Bounce the basketball twice, stands up straight, shrugs the shoulders. One more bounce, and he puts up the shot, and he got nothing but net. 51-46 Maryland, 9:57 to play.
I like Maryland coming out in a little bit of a press here, try and slow Michigan down, make them get into the half court, take 10 seconds off the shot clock like now.
Zone look here for Maryland on defense. It's into Goldin at the elbow, goes into Queen, puts up a righty hook shot, about 6 feet out, gets nothing but net. 51-48 Maryland, lead is down to 3, 9:33 to play. Gillespie has it left wing off a screen, pulls up for 3 and buries it. Pure from Gillespie, outlet pass to Goldin, he ran the floor, catches it left side, can't finish, but he was fouled by Selton Miguel. 54-48 Maryland, 9:24, and you talk about pushing it off a make. Donaldson just threw the outlet.
So this is interesting. This game was kind of up and down at the beginning, but neither team was making any shots, so slowed down, set up the offense. Michigan's starting to play fast, starting to play free now. I love Donaldson with the look ahead. Goldin running the floor, getting rewarded. But on this end, man, Jacoby Gillespie, a couple big threes in this second half, quiet the crowd down.
Goldin, first free throw is up and down. Goldin, a 70% shooter. He's now 3 for 3 on the day. 54-49 Maryland, 9:24 to play. Goldin slumps the shoulders, bends the knees, and puts up the second free throw. He got it. He has them both. 54-50 Maryland, 9:24 to play. A bit of a press on here for Michigan. Burnett and Gale Jr. down there. Gillespie across the timeline to Queen up top. Now to Rice. Up top to Queen. He barrels in to Gale Jr. Foul on Roddy Gale Jr. on the floor. Maybe a break for Michigan. Queen had dumped it off to a running Geronimo on the baseline who might have had an easy deuce.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you'll accept the call if you're Kevin Willard because probably a foul. You want your refs to be consistent, but had a layup there that was kind of wiped off the board by that.
Inbound into Queen, who barrels into Goldin. No whistle. Out to Burnett, who'll throw it ahead. Gale Jr., he's alone. Rises up, throws it down, falls to the floor with the dunk. 54-52. Maryland up to Miguel. He's alone, right wing. Misses the three-pointer. Gillespie runs it down in the corner in front of his bench. Shovels it out to Rice on the left wing. Spins around, back out Gillespie. The calm within a storm just for a moment here for Maryland.
Woo!
They're on their feet here at Chrysler. Shake and bake, step back three for Gillespie. Off the heel, no good. And a foul on the floor first. Called on, I believe, Roddy Gale Jr. And the Bluebirds ring down. 54-52 Maryland, 8:43 to play.
Woo, catch your breath, Millie. My goodness, up and down, up and down. Michigan, again, turning the Maryland turnovers into easy buckets on the other end. And Maryland, I think, actually playing with some decent composure in these moments, just not seeing the results on the board at the moment.
Inbound into Julian Reese, who checked in for Geronimo. Gets it to Rice, who turns the corner. And another foul called on Roddy Gale Jr. The last one actually went on Namari Burnett. But a quick succession of fouls called on the Wolverines. That's the 16th foul on Michigan. Next one will put Maryland in the bonus. 5 fouls on the Maryland side.
Gale wanted the hook that they called Wolf for earlier. I didn't see much of it there. It looked like he just got beat off the dribble.
Julian Reese catches the inbound right wing, leaves it for Rice. He's got Gale Jr. on him. Uses a Derik Queen screen, steps behind it. Top of the key three-pointer is pure. Rodney Rice knocks down a triple. 57-52 Maryland, 8:23 to play.
How about the three ball for the Terrapins, man? Just some absolute crowd silencers.
Goldin on the elbow, power dribbles inside, spins, can't knock it down. Long rebound tipped out to Gale Jr. Leaves it behind him. Donaldson on the left wing. Goldin comes up, sets him a screen to his right. Donaldson pulls up, top of the key three-pointer, no. Rebound Gillespie, 57-52 Maryland. Outlet pass ahead to Miguel. He can't run it down. Gillespie taps his chest. My bad, he says. Put it too far out in front of the streaking Miguel. 7:59 to play, under 8 media timeout. 57 Maryland, 52 Michigan. 7:59 left here in the Chrysler Center, 5-point game. This is what you signed up for, partner?
It certainly is. I mean, look, Maryland, I like their process at the moment. I think they're playing the right way. Michigan's just playing maybe a little bit harder, a little bit quicker. Especially when Maryland's on offense, Michigan defensively has upped their pressure. That's caused some issues for Maryland. But I think they're playing with the right mindset. That was not a great pass by Gillespie. There's no need to kind of push ahead like that. But on the flip side, I mean, Michigan's got 30 points in the second half. They had 22 in the first half, right? They're playing with pace. They're playing with purpose when they play with pace. Guys are filling their spots, waiting for their moments. I thought that last shot by Donaldson was a bit of a force. Again, getting into that spot where it's, all right, I'm on the dribble handoff. I'm not exactly sure where I feel comfortable with my game at the moment, so I'm going to shoot a three because I made the last one. And I think there's better shots to get out of that set, but nonetheless, I mean, the energy's here, man. Like, it's been a lot of fun, and some of these Maryland threes, too, just absolutely kind of daggers in the crowd noise. So this is what March is about, isn't it? It certainly seems like we're on the course for some madness at the end of this one.
Michigan has trailed for a long time. Their last lead was with 10 minutes to play in the first half. They've kept it close here in the second half. They trail by 5, 57-52, 7:59 to play here in the second half. But really, it's been a better half on all fronts for Michigan. They've been better offensively by the percentages. They're winning the rebound battle by 2 here in the second half. Tides have turned a little bit.
The turnover battle is you know, pretty neutralized as well. Michigan's been able to get out and run a little bit on Maryland from the turnover battle, but also from those defensive rebounds. And that's, I think, where you get guys like Wolf running in transition, Gale running in transition, Kaysen had one in transition earlier. And then you can start to find those Burnett transition threes, the kind of Goldin relocating on the block from the baseline. His movement around the circle around the key has been awesome all season and continues to be tonight. But a somewhat important possession here for Michigan. I think just to kind of find some footing in the half court as well as they'll bring it up here the full 94.
2-2-1 press here on for Maryland. LJ Kaysen, Trey Donaldson, Reuben Jones, Vlad Goldin, Danny Wolf for Michigan. It's across the timeline with Donaldson. He sets up at the block M.
Donaldson had a chance to push there and pulled it back. We'll see if Michigan can bail him out.
To the elbow to Danny Wolf. Steps through, leans in, and finishes with his left hand. Split two defenders and finished at the rim. 57-54 Maryland. 7:33 to play. Starters on the floor for the Terrapins. It's with Gillespie to the right of the block M. Reuben Jones on him up there. He sends it over to Derik Queen, back to Gillespie. Has a Queen screen to his right and uses it. Crosses back over, picks it up, over to Rodney Rice. High pass in the left wing. Rice sidesteps, long two in the left corner is pure. Tough bucket for a tough bucket getter in Rodney Rice. 59-54 Maryland, 7:08 to play. 2-3 zone look here defensively for the Terrapins. It's with Donaldson up top. Has a screen from Goldin to his right, use it. Skips it over LJ Kaysen left wing, now to Wolf up top. Back over to Kaysen on the left side. Looks inside to Goldin, gets it to him on a bounce. Goldin on the left block, sees a double from Miguel and Reese. Up top to Donaldson, swinging over Reuben Jones right wing. Into the right corner, Wolf. Thought about a three, sidesteps to his left, puts up a three-pointer, knocks it down. Danny Wolf from long range. Game is back to a 2-point deficit for Michigan. 59 Maryland, 57 Michigan. 6:36 to play off a tough Wolf pull-up three. Derik Queen inside for Maryland. Outside to Gillespie now at the logo. Reuben Jones up top guards him. Gillespie used a screen from Queen to his right. Sidestep three on the left wing. Puts it up. No good off the back iron. Didn't miss by much. Rebound Vlad Goldin. It's with Trey Donaldson. Michigan down by 2. 6:15 to play. Donaldson drives right side. Nearly carried the basketball. Now resets it out to Wolf, and he threw it into the backcourt. Wolf's going to run this down, and that'll be a backcourt violation. Over and back go the Wolverines. A turnover. Donaldson just threw it away as he'd taken 2 steps and had nowhere to go with it. 59 Maryland, 57 Michigan, 6:07 to play.
I mean, that's just a careless pass at the epitome of careless passes by Trey Donaldson.
Namari Burnett will come in for Donaldson now. It's with the Terrapins in the half court on the baseline. 59-57 Maryland. And it's into Reese on the short corner right side. Drives past Wolf, past Gold, and hangs in the air and finishes on the left side with his left hand.
That was a grown man finish right there. Into the body of Wolf, into the body of Goldin, and getting it creep over the edge.
Big to big, Wolf, Goldin to Wolf, who's on the left side. He works on Miguel, and Miguel gets whistled for the foul. Wolf will shoot a pair. 61-57 Maryland. 5:48 to play here in the second half. And Danny Wolf will go to the free throw line. He has not been there all day. Second foul on Miguel. Wolf has struggled to stripe this season, just 61%. 2 big ones coming up here. 61-57 Maryland, 5:48 to play. Wolf takes 3 dribbles, sets his shot, puts it up. Barely grazed the front rim on the free throw. Well short on the miss. 61-57 Maryland, 5:48 to play. Wolf tries to compose himself here. Bends the knees, dips the basketball, and this one rattles off the right side. No good. He missed them both. Derik Queen battles for the rebound for Maryland. 61-57 Terrapins, and Gillespie brings it up for Maryland. Uses a Queen screen to his right, enters the post to Reese on the right block. Works into Wolf, spins to his left hand, puts it up just in front of the cup, can't finish, tips it back up, no good. Third try, no good. Rebound Burnett. Here comes LJ Kaysen up the right side. He'll cross over, push it down the left lane, hangs in the air, can't finish. Reese might have gotten a piece. It's with Gillespie. He'll push it up. 3-on-2 go the Terrapins. Into the left wing. Open 3 for Rice. No good off the front iron. Miguel taps it up to half court to Reese. No over and back called. And it's with Gillespie on the left wing.
Oh. Take another breath here.
It's with Derik Queen up top. Reuben Jones on him. He drives left. But first, a whistle blows on the floor. And the Boo Birds ring down from the Chrysler Center. 17th foul on Michigan, so Maryland's in the bonus here. And Derik Queen, a good free throw shooter, will shoot the 1-and-1. Reuben Jones picked up his first foul of the evening. Queen today, 4 for 6 at the stripe on the season, 76% shooter.
Boo Birds have certainly been chirping at the Zebras this evening. It's I don't mind that last call either. It looked like an uncontrolled tap kind of back. Queen gathered in the past half court. I can understand the crowd's frustration, but I think it's the right call.
Queen bends the knees, front end is off the heel, no good. Rebound, Namari Burnett. He misses the front end of the 1-and-1, does Derik Queen. 61-57 Maryland, 4:50 to play. Trey Donaldson sets up the Michigan offense in the half court. He's got it to the right of the Block M logo. Now gives it to Will Cheddar up top. Dribble handoff back to Donaldson. A work toward the left short corner. Now reset on Gillespie. Crossover, tried to throw it inside to Goldin. Pass intercepted by Juju Reese. He'll give it to Gillespie. The point guard for Maryland will set it up on the left wing with Will Cheddar guarding it. He'll cross over on Cheddar. Now slow things down. Dribbles it back out left to the logo. 15 on the shot clock for Maryland. Gets a screen from Queen to his left. Danny Wolf now on Gillespie. Up top to Derik Queen with Will Cheddar on him. He crossed over to his left hand. Bodies into Cheddar. Right-handed shot from 6 feet out. No good. Rebound Vlad Goldin. Over to Trey Donaldson. He'll push it up. Danny Wolf on the left side. Michigan trails by 4. 4 minutes to play. Wolf uses a Goldin screen, crosses back over, uses the screen again, dribbles inside to Goldin. Pass goes too high. It's with the Terrapins. Numbers for them. Gillespie leaves it off Rice, who threw an extra one to Queen that Cheddar got a piece of. Somehow it's still inbound with Gillespie. Underneath the Queen, he'll put it up and get fouled. Unnecessary extra pass there, I think, for Rodney Rice. That'll bring us to the under 4 media timeout. It'll be Maryland's basketball. A 1-and-1 chance for the Terrapins after this media timeout. Maryland by 4, 3:48 to play. That was Namari Burnett's third personal.
And the turnover issues again popping up here late for Michigan. Donaldson with a couple, Wolf with one, just trying to force feed. Kind of Goldin on the roll or in the post, and I understand trying to get him the ball, but I understand trying to play fast, but something to be said about playing in control, playing off 2 feet, using fakes, trying to, faking a pass to make a pass, one of those great coach sayings from growing up, right? But I think it comes down to some of these fundamentals that have just kind of let Michigan down all season and turns into turnovers. Maryland's got opportunities, and again, Maryland keeps letting Michigan kind of hang around in this game, and Michigan is not taking the opportunities that Maryland provides to leap back and take the lead in this game. So it's been a back and forth affair for sure. And Michigan has done a good job of getting back in this basketball game. There was moments where it felt like they might not have much of a chance in this one, but they've really battled. I think they've done a great job on the defensive boards as well. I think they've battled really hard down there. It hasn't been perfect, but there's a competitiveness down there that I think was lacking against Illinois, and that's going to be huge these last 4 minutes as they try and close out the season here in Chrysler on the right note.
And you've been able to say this about this Michigan team pretty much all year long, but the turnovers have hurt the Michigan Wolverines, and especially during the runs they've put together late here in the second half. Feels like they're right back in the game, and a careless turnover gives Maryland the basketball back. 3 turnovers for Michigan in the last 3 minutes, 15 turnovers on the evening.
Well, and you look at those stats too, a scoring drought for Maryland in the last 2:14, a scoring drought for Michigan in the last 3:03. Michigan 3 turnovers in the last 3:03. So, look, stretches of basketball aren't going to be perfect all the time, but certainly needed to be perfect down these last 4 for Michigan. It just feels like these turnovers are so avoidable too. That's the other thing is, like you're getting to great locations on the floor. You just need to play with a little bit more patience, a little bit more composure, control. But big front end of a 1-and-1 here. Queen missed the last one, and You know the crowd's going to be letting him hear it.
Derik Queen was fouled by Namari Burnett. He'll shoot the 1-and-1, 8th team foul on Michigan. He bends the knees. First free throw is up and good.
Might have had that as a shooting foul.
I think
actually.
he was. It was awarded 2 free throws for Queen. He makes the front end either way. 62 Maryland, 57 Michigan. 3:48 to play here in the second half. Queen bends the knees. Second free throw is up and good. 76% shooter. Knocks down them both. 6-point Maryland lead, 63-57, 3:44 to play. Basketball with the Wolverines and Trey Donaldson. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Goldin at the right elbow. Julian Reese on his hip. Goldin works into him. Left shoulder into Reese's chest, spins back. Reese rips the basketball away and gives it to his point guard, Jacoby Gillespie for Maryland. 63-57 Terrapins, 3:24 to play. Gillespie dribbles into a Queen screen on the left wing, now up top to Reese. He'll hand it back to Gillespie with Donaldson still with him. Gillespie brings Reese back forward to a screen to his left. Crossover past Wolf, up to the rim, left hand layup, no good. Rebound Wolf, and he'll slow it down. Michigan might have had numbers if he'd pushed it ahead immediately. Made sure nobody was on his hip. Now he drives off the right wing, puts it up right side, too strong. Rebound ends up with Jacoby Gillespie.
Not the possessions Dusty May was hoping for out of the timeout. Goldin, one of the few times tonight he hasn't been efficient with the basketball, leads to a turnover, and then Wolf trying to force the issue there with the layup.
63-57 Maryland, 2:40 to play. Rodney Rice has it. The top of the key now over to Julian Reese, left wing. He'll hand it off to Selton Miguel. Pocket pass to the rolling Reese on the left side. Double comes and a foul called. Leave on Namari Burnett. That'll send Reese to the free throw line. 63-57 Maryland, 2:32 to play. And Julian Reese will shoot his first free throws of the evening. He's a much improved free throw shooter this year. It's 72.7% as opposed to 56% last year. First free throw is pure for the big man. 64-57 Maryland, 2:32 to play. Reese takes a pair of dribbles, squats down, slow shot is up and good. He got them both. Big free throws for the senior forward, 65-57 Maryland, 2:27 to play. Michigan wants to get into this ball game. It's got to happen now. Donaldson dribbles to the right wing, now drives down, kicks it out Wolf, right corner. Now he dribbles it up top, wraps it around, picks up his dribble in front of the left wing, leaves it back for Donaldson up top. Horn set, gets a screen from Wolf to his left, drives down, hangs in the air, had it blocked. Cheddar the rebound, he'll turn around and put it up with 4 on the shot clock. No good, rebound bounces around and squeezed by Derik Queen, who gets Jacoby Gillespie. 65-57 Maryland, 1:58 to play. And the clock totally on the Terrapins side here. Gillespie leaves it up top for Queen, now right wing for Rodney Rice. Up top Miguel with Will Cheddar on him. 10 on the shot clock, Gillespie left wing, now into the short corner for Queen, rips it down to Reese. He's rejected by the rim on the dunk, couldn't finish. Namari Burnett the rebound, he'll bring it up the right side, leave it to Cheddar on the right corner, now to Goldin right wing, back to Burnett, right corner, three-pointers, up and down, he twirled it home. Bail-out bucket for Namari Burnett, and a much-needed hit for the Wolverines. 5-point game, 65-60 Maryland, 1:29 to play. And boy, that's a massive 5-point swing. The missed dunk by Julian Reese on one end, tough three-pointer by Namari Burnett on the other.
Certainly is. That dunk would have been kind of the dagger. And the Wolverines, I guess some fans think it's over already. They start filing out, but it's not the most impressive stretch by Michigan on offense the past 2.5 minutes. Talked about needing it to be a great 4 minutes. Like I said before, Maryland has done an excellent job of kind of playing within themselves today. I think they've stuck to their game plan even when it hasn't worked very well. They've made big shots when they've needed to. They've played composed. I like how they've kind of slowed the game down on the offensive end. They've been active with their hands on defense, and they certainly could be up by a lot more, but they're not getting overly frustrated with themselves trying to force a bigger lead than what they have. They're playing within themselves, understanding that a road win is a road win, and this is on track to be a big one for them.
Jacoby Gillespie across the timeline for Maryland. 65-60 Terrapins, 1:19 and ticking. 17 on the shot clock. Rodney Rice on the right wing, pressured by Vlad Goldin way out there. He splits past Goldin, kicks it out. Gillespie on the left wing. 10 on the shot clock. Back to Rice on the right wing. Goldin comes way out on him and commits the foul.
That's also a stunning foul. I'm not sure why you wait 20 seconds
I don't
and then
think
do
that
it.
was intentional from Goldin. I think he just fell into to Rice. Because there you waste, as you said, 20 seconds, and now you send a good free throw shooter. Rodney Rice shoots it at 82% to the stripe. Up by 5 is Maryland. 1:06. He bends his knees. First free throw is pure for Rice.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Goldin. To me, it was like a mix of like ball pressure when he's 6 feet behind the line.
Yeah.
And trying to foul. That's pretty shocking from a guy of his experience.
Second free throw rattles in. 67-60 Maryland. Donaldson will bring it up. And officially 60 seconds to go here. Wolf in the short corner sends it up. Burnett pump fake, sidesteps, open on the right wing. A three-pointer is short. Wolf, the rebound, will tip it back up and in on the left side. 67-62. It's back to a 5-point game. 53.1 seconds to play here in the second half. And a timeout called. With 53.1 to play and a 5-point deficit for Michigan.
So what I will say, I think now you have to foul. 53 seconds, down 2 possessions. If you get a stop, you're getting the ball back. You know, that's assuming you also grab the defensive rebound. You're getting the ball back with 25-ish seconds left. Do you trust that you have enough time for 2 possessions, going full court there? Probably not. So I think you try and trap in the half court. You don't get it. You foul pretty instantly. Play the free throw game with Maryland. Try and trade 2s for 3s. Try and make this game as long as possible. I think that's what Dusty May is doing here, going Wolf and then 4 guards.
After that timeout, one more for Dusty May. Maryland in the double bonus here if Michigan were to foul, and it's into Derik Queen. Bounce it back to Rodney Rice, and he is fouled there, I believe by Reuben Jones. So Rice, who just knocked down 2 of 2, will go back to the free throw line and have a chance to shoot 2. Maryland leads 67-62, 49.4 to play.
I mean, I get the foul in the grand scheme of things, but it felt like you had a decent spot there. Didn't need to trap kind of underneath the opposing team's basket. Let them go one way or the other, stay in your zone, and some things to clean up kind of in the how to end the game for Michigan.
First free throw for Rice is up and rattles in and out. Got every part of the rim and didn't fall down. Big miss there for Rice. 67-62 Maryland, 49.4. Cheddar checks back in for Michigan. It's Donaldson, Cheddar, Burnett, Wolf, and Goldin. Rodney Rice, 81% shooter, bends the knees. Second free throw, knocks it down. 68-62 Maryland, 49 seconds on the clock. It's ticking now with Donaldson up the right side. Now up top, Burnett fires it over Cheddar on the left wing. Sends it to Goldin up top. Clock ticking for Michigan. Wolf pulls up, left wing three-pointer way off to the right side. Rebound Derik Queen. And he's fouled by Will Cheddar under the basket. Really just in the short corner, but either way, Queen to the stripe to shoot a pair. 68-62 Maryland, 31.6 to play. And now they really start to stream to the exits here in the Chrysler Center.
Not necessarily the look Michigan was hoping for. Contested left wing, Danny Wolf 30-footer. Only one timeout was left for Dusty May, so kind of had to let him run and play, but.
And Queen knocks down the first free throw. 69-62 Maryland, 31.6 to play here in the second half.
This game, last 4 minutes, Maryland just picked up their defensive intensity.
Second free throw up for Queen, rattles in and out, rebound Goldin. Here comes Donaldson, 30 seconds left to play. Michigan trails by 7. Donaldson dribbles up top, sends it to Wolf on the right wing. He'll dribble in, kick it out. Cheddar, quick trigger, right corner 3, no good. Rebound Goldin, kick it out. Donaldson sidesteps into a left wing 3. He knocks that one down. 69-65 Maryland, 17.5 to play. 4-point ball game here. Donaldson has given Michigan at least one last chance at a miracle here.
Those are the looks you were hoping for previously on the previous possession. But we'll see if Michigan can force a turnover here. I think got to be diligent about where and when you trap. And if you're Maryland, you just got to keep the ball central. Keep it kind of on the middle of the floor, out of trouble. Your two big men aren't a bad option either, kind of at midcourt. They'll get the jump ball and be strong with it. They both make free throws at a reasonable enough clip. I mean, if you got to think Michigan at best has maybe 2 possessions left in this game. So if Maryland get to 71, you know, we'll see. I mean, Michigan's got an above 0.0% chance based on that 3, but it's certainly looking pretty slim, and they'll need some things to go their way here down the stretch.
69-65 Maryland, 17.8 to play here in the second half. Trey Donaldson hit a 3-pointer off of Vlad Goldin offensive rebound to cut this deficit to 4. It'll be Maryland basketball on the baseline to go the full court. And as you said, Michigan probably needs to force a turnover here. On the floor for Maryland, it's Rice, Jay Young, an extra guard in there. Selton Miguel, Gillespie, and Derik Queen. No Julian Reese. For Michigan, Gale Jr., Kaysen, Reuben Jones, Donaldson, and Danny Wolf. Running the baseline is Rice. He gets it into Gillespie, who is fouled by Danny Wolf quickly. So 16.8 left to play here in Ann Arbor. 69-65 Maryland, and Gillespie, who shoots it at 86.1% from the free throw line, will go to the stripe. First trip there for him this evening. He'll get a chance to knock down a pair here, extend this Maryland lead. They lead by 4, 16.8 to play.
That was a pretty effective press break. Get your point guard kind of breaking out to the middle of the floor, running away from the guards.
First free throw is pure for Gillespie, 70-65 Maryland.
And then right into the arms of kind of Danny Wolf, which, if you're Maryland, that's exactly what you're hoping for. Not getting trapped in any of those corners, kind of having plenty of space to put the ball on the deck, waste a little bit of time. And
Gillespie, second free throw is good. He got them both. Back to a 6-point game, 71-65 Maryland, 16 seconds to go. Donaldson dribbles it up. He's up top, crossed over on Rice, no separation. Tried to sidestep into a 3, gets a dribble handoff from Goldin. Donaldson drove in, couldn't finish. Rebound bounced around, and a whistle blows. I believe it'll stay with Michigan. But a lot of clock ran off. 4.7 left to play. Maryland by 6. That should about do it here.
Yeah, it's got to be a 3-point shot from Michigan. Danny Wolf will get some free throws to kind of pad the stats here, but I mean, you got 20 and 20 out of Wolf and Goldin tonight. I know Wolf had quite a few turnovers, and that's ultimately the difference in the game. But 10 out of Donaldson, 8 out of Burnett, 2 out of Gale, none out of Jones, 2 out of...
First free throw for Wolf is no good. He's 0 for 3 on the stripe to close this game out. Rebound Rodney Rice, and that'll do it. He'll pound the basketball toward full court. And the Maryland Terrapins go on the road and knock off the Michigan Wolverines 71-65 in Ann Arbor. And Dan, as you were saying toward the end there, turnovers pretty killer for the Michigan Wolverines throughout this game, really throughout this season, but especially in the late, last 8 minutes or so here in this one.
Yeah, I mean, 16 turnovers in a basketball game.
Hard to win a game like that.
Yeah, it's one every about 2 minutes or so, which, think about possessions, that's one every 2 or 3 possessions, which is just simply, it's just not good enough. And the fact that it's been an issue all year is pretty concerning. Maryland, on the other hand, had 8 turnovers. They played a very kind of proper basketball game tonight, and honestly probably should have won by 10 or 15. And I would kind of, as before you rightly got in there and took the call for sort of the final few seconds, 4 total points out of Reuben Jones, LJ Kaysen, and Roddy Gale Jr. Yeah, it's just not really going to do it. I mean, look, Maryland did not make a field goal in the last 6 minutes of the game, and you weren't really able to, take the lead or put any, there was game pressure, but it wasn't ever a one-possession game after 54-52. Michigan stopped playing quick. I think that was part of the issue, too, is Maryland got back in transition, up to their defensive half-court pressure, and created a lot of issues for the Wolverines on that end. And, end of the day, Michigan just got themselves in too big of a hole to kind of regain that lead. But they're not playing the basketball they need to play as we head into the important stretch of March here. And it doesn't get easier. Sunday, Michigan State, I believe, now the Big Ten champions in the regular season. And got to go to the champ's house and kind of find some, not pride isn't the right word, but find some semblance of having fun again. Find some semblance of what's made this team great and kind of reestablish the identity of how Michigan's going to play down the stretch. If they want to hang another, banner up here in the rafters, whether that's Big Ten tournament champions or a Final Four or, join that one men's 1989 national championship, they're going to have to kind of reestablish their identity, particularly on the offensive end. I thought they competed on the defensive boards much better tonight than they did Illinois, but certainly a lot to improve, a lot of coaching to be done over the next few days, and it's a great opportunity to reestablish yourself on Sunday in the Breslin Center.
Certainly room for growth for this Michigan team. Something you talked about in there, the turnovers. Michigan finished with 16, but I found that early in the year, we were talking about turnovers. To me, at least, it was that Michigan played so fast, it was just inevitable at points you were going to turn the ball over. But there were a lot of turnovers in the half court in this one. Just sloppy passes, bad decisions, and, call a spade, just bad passes being made out there. And those are stuff that if you're Michigan, you've got to clean up, especially when it's coming from your best players in Wolf and Donaldson.
Well, yeah, the guys who are supposed to handle the ball, sort of quarterback the half-court offense. And you said it more succinctly than I could, which is just that half-court offense was just not good enough tonight. Whether that's, enough motion or movement or whatever it is, right? Something's not creating enough open looks, and guys aren't comfortable to kind of create their own things. And if you kind of look at this Michigan team on paper, it all got wiped away by the awesome start, the awesome run, and just playing and scoring at a high pace. But as we've kind of gotten deeper into Big Ten play and things have slowed down a little bit, guys are probably tired. Like they're playing, a game every 3 or 4 days, and it's a long season. And I can kind of imagine that, Michigan's just running on empty a little bit here down the stretch. And unfortunately, there's not really a pit stop before East Lansing. But thankfully, locking up that top 4 seed, they'll at least get a few days after that. But it's been a disappointing finish to an unbelievable season, and it's tough to lose the final 2 here at Chrysler for this year. And so we'll see. There's things to build on, though. That's there. They just got to kind of rekindle some of that magic, that motion, that pace that they had earlier in the year.
It just does seem like this is, we're reaching the end of the year. That's when you hope you're playing your best basketball, and that is certainly not the case for Michigan right now. But obviously, it's a little bit time to, if you will, get right in a way. You got to go to East Lansing in a game that, you've got to find some meaning in. In a way, you're playing free. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Yeah. In
East Lansing. That could be a big upset win for Michigan if they can dig in, find something on both ends of the floor. Because the other thing, you look at the shooting splits in this one. Michigan was at 43.5% from the field, 35% from three-point land. That's not awful. It's the turnovers and the sloppiness that were killer for Michigan. Try to clean that stuff up, and you have Michigan State. You have the Big Ten tournament with a double bye, and then you're into the March Madness field, and that's when everything really starts to count.
Right. No, it's well said. And the turnovers are, you touched on this a little bit already, but when you're playing fast and you're playing free and smooth, like they're going to happen, and you kind of just hope that they get reset. But it's almost like Michigan turned the dial back too much in a way. They're playing some half-court sets, and Dusty May's got some great out of kind of timeouts, baseline draw-ups that those have been great all year. It's actually one of the things that has impressed me most about his coaching this year, along with his man management, player management, has been those out of timeout sets. It's resulted in a lot of great shots, but for whatever reason, those half-court sets just aren't kind of operating at the same efficiency that they were early in the year. That 4-5 pick and roll with Wolf and Goldin we touched on kind of throughout the evening has not been as effective as it once was, and Michigan's got to find a way to get it done. And I think that touched on it as well, but starts with Donaldson kind of finding his footing, playing off 2 feet a little bit more I think would be beneficial. Having Roddy Gale show some signs of life on offense would be great. Or if that's Reuben Jones or LJ Kaysen, just one of those guys has to be, I think, just more aggressive and take more open shots, make the floor space out a little bit. Maybe that's Pippen, who knows. But certainly feels like there's a bit of a hole in that starting lineup, even if some of the other pieces aren't operating at their best right now. So we could go on and on about how Michigan has kind of lacked in efficiency over the past few weeks, and it's probably numerous reasons, and we've tried to touch on a few of them. But I also think Maryland played a great game tonight. They did what they're supposed to do on the road, and and a road environment that got loud at moments and is prideful about their program. So good win for them. Should be a great confidence booster heading into their season finale and the Big Ten tournament, because big win in terms of the seed. They also want that double bye.
Yeah.
And so they came in and did the job tonight.
Once again, your final score: Maryland 61, 71 Maryland, 65 Michigan Terrapins. Come on the road here and win in Ann Arbor. And if you're still with us, thank you for sticking with us way into the post game. Suppose I don't want to leave the Chrysler Center.
No, they just want to see your beautiful face.
Oh, this will be my last time here. Senior year, graduating. Last time in the Chrysler Center, at least as a student broadcaster. Hope to be back someday, but it's been a pleasure. And unfortunate Michigan goes out with a loss here, but fun game. Pleasure to have you back here.
Yeah.
My first game was with Dan, my sophomore year of college. We call it Lipscomb. Will Pruitt had a game.
27 out of the kid.
And happy to wrap it up here. And it's not done yet. I'll be going to the Big Ten women's tournament tomorrow morning. Michigan will have Washington officially tomorrow afternoon at around 2:30. I'll be on the call for that. And might make my way out to some March Madness. We will see. But
there you go.
Ride's not yet over. But Dan, any final thoughts before we say goodbye for tonight?
No, I appreciate you letting me back on. I was on WCBN previous few years, come back and close it out the way it began, I guess, in some sense. So it's been a lot of fun. Fun game to call. Some poster dunks, some threes, right? Like those are as student broadcasters, those are the things that you kind of want to see and enjoy. And crowd got in it for a little bit. It's the loudest I've heard Chrysler, not necessarily tonight, but just this season. It's been the most energetic they've been in a few years. So really fortunate that, I'm sure you're pretty fortunate that this season has ended up the way that it has for the most part. Compared to last year, it was, if the Big Ten was the way it was last year, Michigan was not in tournament last year, in the Big Ten tournament, not in the NCAA tournament, and it was just season over after this. But still some big games on the horizon, and look forward to hearing WCBN's coverage of them and, continuing to follow this journey. So.
Yes, indeed. We'll have a crew out at East Lansing for the big game coming up on Sunday. Hopefully we'll have Michigan men's basketball as long as this season runs. And this program's in a good spot. Dusty May's got some guys that are going to stick around. It's going to be fun to keep an eye on this program from afar next couple of years. But for this one, that'll about do it. Thank you for joining us on WCBN Sports, official student radio of the University of Michigan. For Dan Olson, I'm Alex Miller. And on behalf of everyone who's called men's hoops on WCBN this year, happy to leave you one last time with a good night and a Go Blue. Talk to you soon, folks.